and welcome to the Salty Boys Podcast.
Please, Aragorn was a goddamn dragon. That movie came out in like 2008. Fuck off. Aragorn?
Yeah, but Aragorn's still better than Lord of the Rings.
Oh my god.
I mean, I love the Hobbits. The three Hobbit movies were way better than Lord of the Rings.
Your goddamn mouth.
The Salty Boys Podcast.
I'm a custodian, fucker.
Custodial engineer.
Janitorium custodies.
Genital
custodian.
Genital custodian.
I'll clean your nuts. They call me Spitshine. Oh, that should have been my call. Fuck.
That's your new call
That's
sign.
my new call sign is Spitshine.
I'm gonna change it.
There's a pen. At least a Sharpie in that drawer.
There's a pen and a Sharpie, and I'll remember. I thought this was Miller Lite, but I'm okay with this decision.
AR, I got beer on your headphone cord.
That's fine. Also, speaking of Natty Bow, CJ and Janelle are having their baby soon, and I went online.
Did
and
they call it Natty Bow?
No.
Kids and grown-ups love it, so the happy world of Natty Bow. Don't sue me, Harry Bow.
Berry Ho.
Oh. I did find this.
Just like Rachel.
What? Don't elaborate. Just leave it at just like Rachel. I'm sorry to. If your name is Rachel, he's probably not talking about you.
I am.
Unless he definitely is.
I am. And you know, Rachel.
It's really hot in here.
It's okay. Just don't move and you won't feel it.
Okay.
The AC is running.
I'll just spill more beer on my.
Go catch it.
Just stop sweating. It's that easy.
So, Bubs and I discussed that your mother would be phenomenal in a metal band. Like we just, but we don't.
Oh my god!
But I'm gonna add to that. Like we don't tell her anything about it. You're bringing her to the gig that she doesn't know that she's fronting for. You leave. Somehow she gets on stage and she's like, and then right as the hit goes, ah! Like do ding. Ah! I can see it now. I like what she's done with her hair.
Okay.
Also. It's nice.
Okay.
Sorry. I guess AR's ready to go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Where are we going?
We're still starting fairly on time comparatively. I do have band tomorrow, but that shouldn't hinder anything here tonight.
Just band together.
That just means you have to drink 5 less beers.
Says who? Best time to show up at bands when you're drunk.
You forgot your pop filter.
Oh shit! Sorry, dude.
I showed Devin that, and he just looked at me and he goes, "Oh my god!"
It's so much easier to put on though. Look at that. I'm on the East Bank.
I'm on the West Bank.
I'm on the West Bank. I'm on the. And if I want to get really, what's the word? Descriptive. I just pop in the little pussy hole right here. Just pop.
It's really loud.
It's magical.
Oh my god.
Anyway.
What up, salty listeners? How we
Singular.
doing? We only have one?
What up, AR?
Simmons.
What up, me, when I'm bouncing the podcast? Simmons doesn't have internet. He's on the West Coast.
Simons.
He's in the West Coast. He's in the East Coast. All right, roll call. To my left.
I'm Kronk.
To his left.
I'm Sawyer.
To his left.
I'm not Sawyer.
And I am to his left. Mechs. Our DJ Skinny Penis is out.
Regularly scheduled skinny penis.
He's got his jams to attend to.
Colonoscopy.
Yes.
He's about to get a finger in his butt.
Right before
He's
the
actually
endoscopy.
he's actually DJing Coachella right now.
Same camera.
There's a lot of jokes that I didn't get.
Scrochella.
So I am I'm your stooge DM for the night. And tonight we're gonna do something a little bit different. We're not actually playing D&D.
Yeah, I mean, boo.
We are playing a game called Lancer. This is a system that I have just recently kind of been turned on to. I sort of stumbled onto it by accident. I get some emails from Kickstarter from time to time, and I think this Kickstarter dropped circa 2018, 2019. The game's been in development long before that, but it's based around mech combat. So if you are a Lancer fan and are listening, prepare for me to make a shitload of mistakes and for you to leave all of your notes in the comments about how much wrong I've done, because I'm about to mess this entire game up. But I've never run it before, I've never played it before, neither of these guys, so we're just here to have a good time.
And the unfortunate part is the only person that listens to our podcast is not a Lancer fan, and the only Lancer fan doesn't listen to our podcast.
Damn.
He was always my favorite reindeer. Fuck Rudolph.
I mean, where can we find him? Like, can we put an ad out on Craigslist looking for a Lancer fan to listen to podcast?
Men seeking man.
Oh, God. If someone shows up in leather bondage gear, what's he going to play? An orc?
Cool, blimey.
Hey, that's profiling. You can play whatever he wants.
I play orcs.
Maybe a dwarf.
I play orcs, he says, having never played an orc in any of our campaigns.
Maybe an elf.
We're talking about 40k, moron. Fucking Rachel.
Which one?
The one that's
Oh, yeah.
the one that's a custodian of nutsacks.
Bringing it back.
Genital custodian.
Oh, yeah.
Custodian.
Rachel.
Custodian. Cunt.
All right. Enough with the sexist remarks. You got any more?
The real name of a gynecologist is a custodian.
Yo, okay. One of you ripped ass and one of you did not claim it. Who did it?
Oh,
and
I
then-
didn't.
Okay,
Doorknob.
you gotta say it because the pop filter, I was like, what the fuck is going on in my pop filter? I didn't know it was a poop filter. You little fucker. You little fucker!
I doorknobbed. You can punch him in the arm.
No, we're not doing that.
This is unusual.
Jesus.
I don't even have to do the whole song.
All right. On with the robots.
Poop from a pee hole.
He's gonna do the song anyway. Who's gonna finish it?
Pee from a poop hole?
There you go. That's actually the words.
That's
Get the lyric sheet.
You just repeat it. Repeat it.
But on the second course, you go ham.
All right. So anyway, this is a Lancer. It's divvied up into two parts. Every session is divided up into two pretty distinct sections. There's a narrative heavier focus, which is a little more akin to 5e. It's going to feel pretty similar. There's interaction, there's story, there's plot development, there's skill checks, all of that shit. It's a little more free-flowing and freewheeling, and we're going to get into that first. And then it will every session of Lancer will devolve into at least one section of mech on mech tactical combat. We will get to that later on in the evening here. I think most Lancer sessions are designed to are built with multiple mech combat missions in mind. I think the average session runs like 3 to 4 different mech combats. For the interest of time and for the sake of us just kind of getting our hands to grips with how the system works, we're just going to run one mech combat tonight. So if you're a Lancer purist, again, you may just want to go ahead and start flaming me now because I'm going to mess everything up. Anyway, without further ado, do you guys have any questions before we get started?
Not me.
Is Rachel the Lancer purist?
Fuck Rachel. If your name's Rachel, get the fuck out of here.
Or Rachel can come DM Lancers.
Yeah, Rachel.
We know she knows what she's doing. Anyway, the three of you awaken after a rather large night of drinking. How are we feeling?
I feel refreshed.
Like any other Monday morning.
I
Ready
feel
to work.
goddamn amazing.
Goddamn amazing. Fantastic. All right. So as you're kind of rolling out of bed, scrounging around, kind of getting yourselves prepped up, things are slowly starting to kind of come back to you. You've got your name. You've got your call sign. Go ahead and let us know who you are.
We start to the left, so let's go to the left again. Kronk.
Okay, I'm Hank. I go by Ricky Business. Because I'm a pickle.
Yeah, so characters in Lancer have their given name, their birth name, as well as a call sign. So the real name is more for like how people interact with you on the field, whereas your call sign is how you'll be referred to when you're behind the hot seat. To his left, who we got?
My name is Spanky McFly. No relation.
To who?
To
Marty.
Rachel.
Fuck, what was my call sign? I didn't write it down.
Spitter.
Ooh, I'll remember it.
I didn't.
Ooh.
Snot spitter. Something.
It's not swallows.
Spit shine.
Spit shine.
Spit shine. My call sign is Spit shine because I'm a janitor.
All right. So you got Spanky Hank.
You got Gumba's Bill.
Gumless or gunless?
We all fucked in the trailer park last night.
That's why we feel so good this morning.
Gumbus Bill is Frankie Frank's call sign.
Wait, I thought Frankie Frank was my name.
No.
Oh, my call sign's Gumba's Bill, and my name is Frankie Frank.
Why did I even print these goddamn sheets off for you?
We can't read. You should know this.
I'm a guitar player. I don't read.
Rachel,
I'm a teacher. I don't read.
read these nuts.
Okay.
Oh, that should have been my call sign. Next time.
This campaign is going to be Sawyer saying, "Oh, that should have been my call sign," every session. How do those mix, by the way?
About to do some beer chemistry here.
Miller Lite plus Natty Bow.
Now swish it around in your mouth.
Not well.
It's like a black and tan, except it's just a tan and tan.
Yeah, it's piss and less piss.
Piss and vinegar.
More piss, less vinegar.
and shit
When
From my pee Pee from my shit.
Jesus
Me
Christ.
on Thanksgiving. Bro, okay, so we wake up, had a wild night,
Yeah.
some Zima.
So,
I think the Zima
did you say
Skittles are
Huffin'
still-
Zima?
I had a wild night with some Zima.
Okay.
okay. So, you have awakened in varying states of feeling your partying from last night. Most of you probably drank a little more than you should have, but Frankie Frank over here at least is not really feeling the worst of it. The important question though is how much of outside of your baseline knowledge do you recollect? So if y'all want to go ahead, this is going to be our first skill check of the night. So just like 5e, skill checks are with a d20. You are rolling to recall what your business is in this undisclosed hangar. Now, while you have your results tallied up, look over your triggers to see if you have a trigger that could potentially aid you in this check. This kind of works the same like proficiency. Instead of like making a dexterity check or making a sleight of hand check, you are essentially trying to meet a kind of standardized skill check difficulty of 10, but you're adding but if you have a trigger that can that goes along with the goal of recollecting why you're here, you can add that as a bonus to whatever you have.
I got a 1, so I was going to put my investigate trigger in there, but that's not going to work.
Okay, so
I was fucked off my ass, and I will put that die away.
All right.
He put too many Jolly Ranchers in his Zima.
Are you fucking kidding me?
So even with your investigative background, you remember you're here for a reason. It's a pretty important reason. It's going to take you a little while to figure that one out. How did Hank do?
Hank's going to use Stay Cool because stay cool, Hank, stay cool. You might have passed out at 3 p.m., but you know you're up till 3 a.m. And he got a 14.
Okay. I think that's a bit of a stretch, but even with the 12, so your stay cool, you got a 14 naturally?
12.
Okay, yeah. So even with the 12 would have been just fine either way. So you've definitely know that. Before we get to you, how did Frankie Frank do?
19.
19. Holy shit. Okay. So you guys are going to have to basically get Spanky up to speed here because Spanky is hungover as hell. But you guys know that you are here on visionary business. Your 19 especially kind of gives you, you start to like get flashbacks of your time at the visionary. You know that the visionary is sort of a sort of an avant-garde independent group that kind of operates outside of the three kind of ruling powers of the nation at the current point. So as a visionary, you're sort of operating as a freelancer. You're sort of operating with your ultimate goal is to sort of break free of the bondage that all of the ruling powers have, that being Phasmid, Commutant, and Sen, which are the governing powers of the nation at large. You guys as visionaries seek to oppose that kind of rule. You oppose all of their ideologies, and you seek just to be a free nation. So you are here on visionary business. You are here assisting a group of miners, specifically drillers. Drill down to the bottom of the Grizzly Canyon to locate locate some sort of artifact. On your 19, you specifically remember this artifact being called an astral frame, and that's as much as you've got right now.
Sweet.
Cool. So as you guys are getting Spanky up to speed here, Spanky's slowly He's slowly regaining himself there. As you guys have gotten all freshened up, you hear a knock at your door.
Hello?
Is everyone decent? It's a female voice. You guys immediately recognize this as Barlow. She is another one of your visionary associates who is here on this mission with you. Unlike the three of you, she did not partake in any drinking last night because she takes her work a little bit more seriously, as it were. Maybe she's a little bit more of a stick in the mud, but she's definitely hyper competent. Do you let her in?
Yeah, I'm not wearing any pants.
Go let Barlow in.
Rachel?
All right. So Barlow comes in, kind of shakes her head at all of you, ignoring the fact that you are just in your underwear. She kind of meets all of you at eye level and goes, Visionary HQ just dropped us a pretty important missive about today's mission. You guys are going to want to hear this. There's been some changes. She places her she places her laptop on the table, logs in, and she hits play. And you see a recording recorded from Visionary HQ. This is from Aberdeen. Aberdeen, of course, is one of the high-ranking officials of Visionary. Basically, what he's telling you guys is he's basically kind of reiterating what Frankie Frank and Hank were talking about earlier. You are here to retrieve an artifact known as the Astral Frame. Unlike the mechs that you pilot now, once upon a time, mechs used to be a lot more organic, as it were. It's almost as though these things had lives of their very own. They had personalities. A lot of skeptics claim it was just really high-functioning AI. More religious or people who are a little bit more impressionable thought that the mechs may have actually had free will. Either way, these were said to have been destroyed, extinct a long, long ago, and then there was one recently found. So that is why you are here. You are working with this third-party drilling mech company to excavate the astral frame from the ground. You are there just to provide the muscle, because these mechs are good for drilling, but that's about it. Your mechs are obviously capable of pulling much heavier artifacts out. You've also come armed just in case there's any sort of conflict. And as Aberdeen continues to talk, it begins to become quite aware that you are going to have some issues on the field. For some reason or another, they have gotten intel that somebody within the compound that you're within right now is going to betray you at some point. It seems like somebody in the group wants that astral frame for themselves, and there's going to be some sort of funny business that goes on. They can't trace who the mole actually is. They can't trace it to a single individual. All they know is there's going to be some sort of... it's probably going to come down to hostilities once you've reached your peak usefulness down in the caverns.
So we're aware of this, you said?
Yes, this is all being fed to you by Aberdeen right now.
I'm here now. Sorry.
Yeah, you're good. So the good news is you don't you don't see any. There's no reason to believe that they are going to pull the trigger too quickly. At the end of the day, they do need you. They do need to work with you together up to a certain point. And the driller mechs, all of the driller company has been informed to basically take your order. You've got rank. You've got rank over all of the mining mechs. So there's potentially ways either on the ground or inside of your mechs that you can use this authority to your advantage, whether you maybe want to how you want to go about taking advantage of that situation. The fact that you know that someone's going to double cross you, he's basically leaving that to you. But your your primary objective remains the same. Grab the astral frame and get out of there. Any questions so far?
The astral frame is a mech.
As far as you're aware, as looking back over the briefing messages, they're not really sure what the mech looks like. It's most of your mechs that you see right now are sort of mass-produced to your specifications. Astral frames, legend has it that astral frames were sort of created on their own. There's a lot of like mythos surrounding it, so there's not a whole lot of going on, but you have every reason to believe it's going to resemble some sort of like giant robot.
Okay.
Are we really Frank, Hank, and Spank?
Yes.
Okay.
All of your you go through all of your birth records are available through Visionary HQ as you tirelessly search through to find your origin of birth. You do see you are right there. You are Hank.
And Frank and Spank.
No, Frankie Frank. Frank's an asshole from D-Wing. You don't talk about Frank, but Frankie Frank's a
Is he a traitor?
guy. He could be.
Frank's the fucking traitor.
Should we shoot him?
Let's go kill him.
You have investigate, right?
I do.
Go ahead and roll that.
Okay.
I was looking to see if Frank is the traitor.
Nope.
What'd you get?
A 7.
But you have investigate, so it gets you to a +9.
No, it was a 5, and I got a 7.
Ah, gotcha. Okay, yeah. So you're scrolling through the files. You see Frank's name pop up. You don't really learn much about him, but you do see a big red discharged over on top of his entire file.
Looks like Frank got kicked out.
Something.
Frank got the spank.
From Hank.
Barlow rubs her eyes and goes, "Yeah, 3 years ago you were there."
Ah.
I seen it happen.
Sorry about that, Barlow. I'm a little...
He had a little bit to drink last night.
I'm going to stay cool and charm Barlow into telling us who the traitor is.
I don't think she knows.
If I knew that, I would have led with that there, Hank.
Well, it was worth a shot.
Don't mind Hank. He's a little simple sometimes.
So, Barlow, what are we...
And not.
What are we doing around here? When do we start mobilizing?
Well, currently the miners are out breaking the ground, getting themselves prepared. We're going to launch into the cavern around early evening, so you've got about 5-6 hours of downtime. There's a couple of places you can... There may be some way... There's a couple of places you may wish to spend your time. If you want to head on down to the lobby, our replicoid companion is there. Can you all roll a d20 for me, please?
10.
13.
Okay, so you all remember. So replicoids are kind of in similar vein to astral frames. Replicoids are sort of an autonomous robotic, part robotic, part organic species. There aren't too many around anymore. The ones that are still here are kind of on a settlement. They're on a reserve. They kind of keep to themselves. But once upon a time, they used... legend says that they sort of ruled the entire world with the might of the astral frames at their side. Nowadays, they're just kind of like quirky little robot people that sort of live off on their own. But you have one replicoid here who has agreed to help Visionary HQ to track down this astral frame, as it is one of the last remaining remnants of their once thriving society. So, this replicoid companion, who you learn's name is Wolfgang, is chilling out at the lobby right now. So, you can go talk with him if you want to learn more information about the astral frame. Barlow continues on.
I'm going to go talk... Oh, sorry.
yeah, there's a couple more. She's just going to kind of give you a lowdown of what the place looks like. The hangar is close by as well. That's where your mechs are currently being stored. If you wanted to go, you have a visionary engineer, Dizzy. She's also a very close friend of you guys'. You guys have kind of entered visionary together. You all kind of graduated at the same time. So she is in there right now, currently putting finishing touches on your mech, getting them ready for tonight's operation. So if you wanted to go see how that's going, you can.
I want to go do that.
There is also...
I want to do all the things.
I want to do all the things. And she also mentioned that the miners are currently breaking ground over on the canyon surface right now. So if you wanted to go talk to the foreman at all, that's also an option for you. You do only have about 5 to 6 hours, and some of these places are a little farther out than others. So she's just kind of encouraging you to use your time wisely. And then once you guys are ready to go, to make sure you get at least a little bit of sleep before the night's operation begins, because, again, there's probably going to be some combat involved. So, any more questions for Barlow before she kind of returns to her area?
No questions.
Hey, Barlow. Think we can maybe call them excavators instead of miners? Because, you make it sound like they're all underage.
She's going to roll her eyes and walk out.
That went well.
Hank, what are you doing?
I can tell she's got a fancying for you, Hank.
Oh, that's because I stay cool. And I can charm.
You're a charmer, Hank.
And he puts on his cowboy hat and finally his pants.
I love how we're just the fucking good old boys right now. I want to go see Dizzy.
Dizzy.
We're the GOP, the good old pilots.
Oh my Jesus God fucking Christ. All right. So the hangar is a short walk from your dormitory. As you get in there, the loud clanging, whirring of machinery, carts, trucks, things being lifted, things being hoisted, things being repaired, worked on, kind of fills the senses. But obviously, you guys being trained lancers, this is an all too familiar sight. It doesn't really bother you too much. As you're walking in, you don't really see Dizzy right away. She's probably busy working on one of your mechs as you guys enter.
Dizzy is busy.
There are plenty of other engineers that work for the drilling company, working around performing maintenance on their own mechs, which they have a sizable number of, considering they're a third-party company. Mm-hmm. Frankie Frank, you rolled a 19 last time on recollection. Can you roll another? How much do you know about the this particular drilling company? And do you have any triggers that could help you with that?
I got a 12, and I have read a situation, so that's probably no.
How can you make it work?
I can assault somebody into telling me more information.
I'll help with that. Fist to face, 20.
Well,
Typecast.
again, you seem to be the
Thanks,
one
guys.
with the most You seem to be the one with the most recollection about the mission dossier. So you know that this is the West End Drilling Company. The fact that they have such a large operation right now strikes you particularly because this is a independent drilling operation. They're not under the thumb of any one of the three ruling powers, which is one of the reasons why Visionary HQ is so willing to work with them, because they're also an independent contracting company. But the fact that they're doing so well for themselves without having any of the three powers backing their financials is pretty miraculous, optimistically speaking, but also pretty dubious if you're being skeptical.
Yeah.
So, anyway, here you are. You've got engineers, you got mechs. Do you want to go to one of your mechs first?
Hey, Dizzy! Where'd you go, girl?
Where'd you go, girl? All right. So as you reach down to the floor, you're kind of making your way through all the different engineers. You see a particularly energetic girl making some finishing touches on your mech, as it were.
How old is she?
How old is she?
Yes.
She is... Let's see if you remember, actually.
In dog years, please.
In dog years, please.
I don't remember.
I got 8 total.
Yeah, so like I said, you guys are pretty close. But like you're around the same age, so she's in her like mid-20s.
Okay, good. Spanky has a soft spot for Dizzy.
Okay.
That's about it. He's like, put your elbow grease in that, girl. What are you doing over there? Trying to clean old spit shine over there?
Oh, hey! And she runs over with what appears to be a spittoon in both of her hands. She's like, yeah, just getting the last oiling done on all of the gears here. With your mixture of oil and saliva, as you requested. She sounds very unsure of this, but again, you guys have been working together for so long that she just doesn't even think about it anymore.
Oh, shucks, you remembered. Yeah, well, what... You got time for a little break real quick? Is there like a coffee bar around or like a little thing
Closet.
around?
Oh, I still have too much work to take a break here, sir. But if you guys wanted an update on all the specs of your guys' mechs, I can take some time to walk you through that.
Well, I'd really love to like take you just for a second, maybe get some food.
I really don't have the time, sir. I appreciate it though.
We got all these little other
boy.
excavators over here. You shut the fuck up, Frankie. Sorry.
Now I'm just trying to look out for your best interest here.
Hey, I found a mop.
We got all these excavators over here. Why can't they take some of this over?
Do you want them boys working on your shit? Look at them. Fucking
I
digging.
found 2 mops.
He found
I got one for each hand.
what kind of?
I'm a dual wielder mop.
What kind of?
They call me Mop with 2 P's.
1 for each mop.
Smell mop.
Fuck. Well, you know what, Dizzy? I'm sorry. You keep getting to work, but give me. Did you get that rifle installed on mine that I was asking you about?
Oh yes, as a matter of fact, and as you are standing in front of yours, that is not yours. That is not yours.
The most exciting part of any podcast: page turning.
Yep, it's gonna happen quite a bit. So there you go. For some reason, when I picked I picked pre-made templates for all of your guys' mechs just for ease of creation, but it wouldn't let me actually name the mech. It gave it a random ass name.
This is some Kingdom Hearts ass shit.
Yeah.
Distant Memories.
Yeah, so you can change the name of that if you want.
Oh, so the mech is different than the call sign.
Correct. Yeah, the mech
call
has its
sign's your
own
pilot.
name.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
whatever you want to call your mech, you can. In fact, what is your mech's name? Would you like to see what your mech looks like?
My mech's name is Haywood.
Haywood.
Last name you blow me.
I'm mad, but I'm not even that mad. Awesome. That is Haywood, for those of you that want to know.
Oh, what a handsome dude. Them green ass legs.
Let me see him.
He's got chicken legs.
Shut the fuck up.
He's got a big backpack.
He does have a big
I'm a
backpack.
sniper.
So Dizzy starts again. Her knowledge of you guys' mechs is almost encyclopedic. You'd be impressed if you just didn't know her and knew she was a big fucking nerd to begin with. So Haywood is a mech that is designed for reconnaissance. That's been built into the chassis directly. You can tell by its the smaller size of its ligaments just make it easier to maneuver around. So Haywood actually moves a little bit faster than all of the other mechs here. As it's built for primarily recon and sniping, as it were, as up to your specifications. Again, it's built to get around quickly, but not really necessarily to take too many hits. So it has a lot of ways that's built in for it to avoid damage altogether, or at least get out of a tight situation. The main selling point, as you can see, is the anti-material rifle, which is a big-ass heavy-duty gun. It's got a 20 cell range, which, as we're going to see fairly shortly here, is a pretty sizable chunk of spot. It is a heavy anti-mech weapon, so there's a bit of a commitment in firing it, but because the mech is also designed to hit every shot that it takes, you're going to be doing a lot of really decent damage there. It's also equipped with 2 segment knives just in case someone manages to sneak past your shots there, and you have another thermal rifle, which is sort of a mid-rangey kind of attack there.
Battle rifle. BXR.
To add to your mobility, your is it Haywood? Haywood is also equipped with a rapid burst jump jet system. This basically lets you fly at will. But when you're using the boost command, which we'll get to when we get into mech combat. So you basically have like little jet thrusters that can just
Goddamn right.
kind of shoot you over cover and stuff. Speaking of cover, you have a one deployable cover that you're able to throw down. You've got some smoke grenades to help keep you hidden as well.
Dizzy, you did a fine job on that, girl.
Well,
Looks great.
yes, I even put that the cloak on top like I wanted you to, or like they wanted. Not sure what the pragmatic purpose is, but she kind of trails off. At that point, she knows that Lancers all tend to be kind of quirky with their specifications.
Gives a little bit more human touch to it. A little more lived in.
All right.
How big are mechs compared to people?
Your balls.
Okay.
So they're tiny.
That's actually a great question. It kind of depends on the mech. They come in bigger, or biggest, basically. The smallest mech that you can find is about, the average person's about, what, 5'6", 5'7".
Yeah.
So the average mech is going to be about twice that. So closer to like the 9-10 foot mark. Anywhere between like 9 to 10 feet to 12, 15 on sort of the bigger end. And they only get bigger from that. But typically...
Okay, so we're not quite at full like Pacific Rim mechs, but
Correct. You're not like Kaiju Power Rangers
okay.
Towering over like skyscrapers. But you're also not working with like human-sized armor either.
We're not Spartans, but we're not Kaiju fighters.
Yeah, you're definitely looking up at your mechs right now.
And
So that's a
bigger.
really good question. Speaking of looking at your mech, she's going to hand over the specs on yours just to let you know what she's been working on. That is not yours. This one is, though. All right. Again, your mech turned... the RNG made your mech called Red Horse. Your mech is neither red nor is it a horse.
That sounds very insensitive culturally.
So, again, I'll let you come up with a name for that as I show the rest of the crew what Red Horse looks like.
Dude, I love that one.
This one actually turned out to be my favorite one.
So that's
That one's-
Reggie Gigas.
Yes.
So I'm my boy is like a middle of the ground, like
He's a beat stick.
Yeah, so, first of all, what is your mech name again? Dizzy can't remember that part. It changes so many times.
my name's Frankie Frank. So my mech's name is Mecky Mech. And our crew is the Funky Bunch.
Of course. All right. So yeah, again, your powers of recollection here are doing really well. Mecky Mech is indeed sort of the workhorse of your little trio here. You specifically at the hangar. You specifically requested the hull, a reinforced hull. So you've got a little bit more health than the average mech does. So you're able to take a few more hits, but you're not really lacking for any systems either. So you're just able to tank another shot or two.
So I'm not like a full on heavy, but I'm like
Yeah, you're you're a workhorse.
Yeah.
In fact, I'd say you're probably the next rung above your standard issue like grunt mech.
Did we really like have complimentary builds without knowing fucking anything about each other's robos?
I mean, I kind of made them all for you, so.
Oh, fair enough.
yeah.
There's not really a bad build, though. Like I said, I'll kind of let you guys peek behind the hood later if you're curious. But these are all templates that kind of exist on the actual website. So this one is just designed to sort of be a kind of generalist. So as for weapons, you're equipped with an assault rifle as your main hand weapon. Not quite as punchy or as snipery as the anti-material rifle, but it gets the job done. It's your old reliable. Your mech also has 2 missile racks mounted on either one of its shoulder mounts. Doesn't go any farther than your assault rifle, but it is able to fly over cover. And it has sort of a blast radius attached to it. So not quite as hard hitting, not quite as versatile as your assault rifle, but it can come in good if you've got enemies that are kind of clustered together, especially behind cover. Your main draw, though, is that beam sword that you've got equipped. It's only a melee weapon, so you can only hit things that are right next to you, but it will cut through basically whatever it is you're going up against. So that's sort of the main draw there. I forgot to mention, your pilot talents also kind of play a role in that as well, and we'll go over that in just a second as well. As far as your systems, you requested to have you've got an ammo case. Basically, whenever you attack with your assault rifle, you can apply a couple of different charges to it, and different you've got thumper rounds, you've got shock rounds or mag rounds, and those should be outlined on your sheet as well. So basically, you can let your assault rifle give your assault rifle bullets a little more juice. So you kind of choose different rounds based on what the situation calls for. You've also got 3 frag grenades. These are basically less. These are basically just thrown missiles. So they only go half as far, but they do twice as much damage. And you've got 3 of them. And you've also got smoke grenades, just like Haywood does. You've also given it a little bit of a personalization. Your personalization effectively gives it an extra 2 HP. So again, you're able to be more of a tank on the field. You can take a few more hits. But what was the personalization you gave?
Hang on.
To Mechie Mech. I'm hanging.
Let me think about that. You asked me too quick.
That's cool. Yeah, think about it. So there's some sort of personalization there, and that can or that may help you out in the long run as well. It's nothing too big though.
Fuzzy dice.
Cool.
Truck nuts.
And then you also have, in addition to your personalization, you've also gotten a custom paint job. If you take structure damage, basically if your HP gets reduced to 0, you're not immediately dead, probably. You take what's called structure damage, which is a whole list of checks you have to roll for. But if you end up taking a structure damage and you roll a 6 on before you take your first structure damage test, you basically just shrug it off. It just scratched the paint. Any questions about Mechie Mech?
I don't actually see the bullets thing.
Should be under systems, ammo case 1.
Yeah, I got pattern B and pattern A.
Well, that's stupid. Why isn't it there?
Did it print on? It didn't print on the back.
Nah, it wouldn't have been double-sided.
You have no bullets.
Weird.
Nope, my assault rifle's now a melee weapon. It's like Halo 1 when you run out of ammo for the first time.
Okay. Well, that'll come more into play when we're on the field. Just for your info right now, you can either load it with thumper rounds. This will knock people back. You can apply shock rounds, which basically deals energy type damage, and then you've got mag rounds, which means you can it gives it the arcing property, which means you can shoot it over cover. It just instead of shooting straight forward, it's the bullet just kind of goes up and down.
It's like that movie Assassin. You curve the bullet.
Yeah, pretty much.
Or Wanted.
Vaunted. All right.
With Angelina Jolie.
Which gets us around to Hank's mech here.
Panky.
So let me pull his up.
Its name is the S word.
The S word, okay.
SSSS3.
And then we've got Hank's mech here, which CompCon has decided to call Original Revelation.
I think that's my favorite.
Which is a little edgelordy. Kind of in nature for this particular mech, a bit of a daredevil design. So if you want to keep Original Revelation, you can. If you want to call it something different, you're more than welcome to as well.
The S word.
Oh, that's right. The S word. I think the colors looked really well. Obviously, for those of you at home can't see it, it's this really neat looking, black and gold looking Gundam, and he's got this little dark sword with a little purple blade. It's really neat.
Black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow, black and yellow. Oh, we're getting copyright struck on that.
It's like that Gundam song.
That was more than the
Frag.
correct amount of time.
Oppa Gundam style.
How much can we go on? Can we do 2 minutes?
So, just like Mechie Mech, you have also elected to have a reinforced hull. So you are, which is actually a really solid pick considering your mech likes to get into the thick of it and get stuck in. Your mech's all about melee and chopping things up. So you're able to take a few more hits than the regular standard bog issue mech is. You are equipped with a shotgun as your main mount. Shotgun does shotgun things. It's a short range, high damage output gun there. You've also got 2 thermal pistols. These are going to deal energy damage as opposed to kinetic damage. There's bullets and electric and heat kind of run on different damage calculations, which we'll get into as well. But basically, you have options. And then your heavy charged blade is your sort of weapon of note there. It's that big purple sword that you've got there. Doesn't do quite as much raw damage. It doesn't have quite as much raw damage potential as Mechs beam sword does, but you do have the armor piercing tag, which means any armor that any enemy has is going to be you're going to completely ignore it, so they can't really defend against it with any conventional means. And your mech also has a lot of as your pilot skills actually give your mech a lot of really cool things you can do in melee as well, which we'll talk about here. But you're also equipped with a projected shield system. Basically, you can put a little protective barrier over somebody within your line of sight.
Depending on how hard you pull the left trigger, it's a thin shield or a big shield.
A light shield or a full shield. You've also got frag grenades, and you have also given it a personalization, which you have elected to, weirdly enough, give it a set of like truck nuts, but you've added a 3rd truck nut on there. What this allows, so in addition to giving you a reinforced hull, weirdly enough, it's a very big 3rd nut, but because you have more cajones than the rest of your mechs do, anytime you elect to get up in a target's face, if you elect to perform a melee attack when you are at 20% health or lower, you're going to get a +1 accuracy for that attack because of your testicular fortitude.
Can I teabag another mech?
I mean, you could. May not be advisable, but we'll get to that.
Do it, you won't. No balls.
You also have the same custom paint job system as Mech does. Anytime you take structural damage, you have a 1 in 6 chance of just shrugging off the structural damage.
Every time you say custom paint job, I just get itchy back to 40K again. I'm like,
Awesome.
fuck, I'm losing.
My customization is a custom high power sound system.
That's awesome.
I hate you.
I was going to say, how about a sombrero?
It just plays Credence. It just plays Fortunate Son.
Never again.
Every time we're in the combat, it ain't me!
Except it changes it up. It runs through like by CCR and then by
Or Spirit in the
Bob
Sky.
Seger.
and then Dropkick Murphys.
And Bob Seger's
And
got
then
one.
Gucci
by
Gang.
Clutch. Yeah, it's just nothing but
So
over and over different covers.
what your sound system is going to do, Mech, is once per round, anytime you make any sort of check, if you're able to blast a song that pertains to the situation at hand,
So what you mean is every time I blast Panama,
like if you're
Wonderwall.
like blasting somebody with a missile and then all of a sudden you dropped a bomb on me, pops up on your radio, that's going to give you a +1 accuracy to that check, but that happens once per round.
Can we
Nice.
make it the rule that he has to sing it though?
Please no.
He can sing it, he can play it.
We
He
do
can-
bombs over Baghdad.
It's got to happen like in the moment though. You can't have like time to mull it over.
right?
All right, so that's it for your mech specific specifications. Dizzy also reminds you that you guys have been chosen as Lancers not just because you pilot really cool custom mechs, but because you guys also bring a lot of your own individual talents to the table. So if you go to your pilot dossier, you should have a list of 3 talents there, and each of those talents is also going to manifest itself into combat. So can we start with Spanky? Can
Okay.
you talk to us through what talents that you have as a pilot?
So, my first talent is Skirmisher. So at the start of my turn, I gain soft cover, and I lose this cover if I attack or force another character to make a save. Now, my cover is going what I like to refer to as my little cloak that
Super soft.
that Haywood has on him. Is that's kind of like my little soft cover, but I mean, really, I guess it's just like based off of
Yeah, absolutely.
where the where I am in the the map.
No,
Also.
actually, I like the fact that you're using the cloak as the sort of soft cover thing there. That could be why you were so insistent on putting it on.
Have you ever seen Lord of the Rings? There's a part in there where they when they get to the Black Gates.
Oh, the
first time.
invisibility cloak.
No, it was
From the Deathly Hallows.
Yeah, it was the Elven cloak from the Santa Claus 3, The Search for More Money, and
Will Ferrell was the elf.
he was the elf. Definitely not the guy from Numbers.
on the shelf.
He played Gondor.
He played all of Gondor, the
He was the whole country of Gondor.
1/23rd.
He was the land that they were standing on.
Miniature scale of Gondor. No man can kill me. I am no fan. I'm the only fan.
Jack.
Jack.
Jock.
And Smaug was played by Rachel.
Fucking Rachel. Yeah, so his soft cover, that is just his cloak. It always seems to like kind of change colors depending on where he is. I don't know if it's just his mech goes out and rolls around in whatever's nearest, but you know, Haywood always comes back. Crack shot. Excuse me. Honestly, it's just part of Spanky's thing is he likes sitting around, drinking beer, hanging out,
And shooting crack.
Yeah, and shooting, shooting crack.
I like smoking and shooting.
But he essentially he will steady his aim as my protocol, and I get a +1, or I get a +1 to all my accuracy and all my attacks. So he can pretty much just he's very good aim. We'll say that. Fathered X amount of children.
His wife does not need to clean a urinal in the bathroom.
Nick Cannon's one child's middle name is Mixolydian. What the fuck, bro?
Oh, yeah.
Is it really?
It is, yeah.
Why?
Look up Nick Cannon's children's names. It's amazing. Oh, and his last one is Infiltrator. Again with the sex. I'm kidding. He kind of storms the gates of Gondor, even after they called for aid. And Rohan will answer. But no, he. So during combat, I thought that would get more from you, Kronk. Fuck off.
I hate those movies.
It's all right. Then why would you even make the goddamn? Get the fuck out of here.
Because I can.
So, Infiltrator. So during my turn, I gain the following benefits. Entering the line of sight of hostile characters or moving from cover does not stop you from being hidden. So, I am just...
You're just a sneaky boy.
I'm just a sneaky boy. I can pass freely through, but not end my turn in enemy spaces. So I have the flying feature in Warhammer, if you're familiar, and I can hide even in plain sight of my enemies, much like a custodian hiding in the hallways of life. Rest in peace, Kurt Cobain. And these effects immediately end when my turn ends, so I lose hidden even if I'm in the line of sight or out of cover at that time.
I feel like you'd literally just stand still, and you're...
I'm just in my head. I'm just like, I'm invisible. I'm invisible. I'm invisible. Fuck. I'm invisible.
Just
I'm
keep
invisible.
swimming.
He's like the invisible guy from Mystery Men.
From Watchmen.
You guys seen Mystery Men?
No,
No.
fuck off. I hate that. I hate Mystery Men.
Well, that's fine. It's still way better than Lord of the Rings.
He said it.
What a go.
I'll just let Peter Jackson's 12 Academy Awards speak for themselves.
Yeah, well, what about Meet the Fockers?
Did that tell me that didn't win? Did that win an Oscar?
I don't know. Who cares?
It shouldn't have.
It's better than Lord of the Rings.
So this is a podcast where we have two players tonight. Spanky has committed second degree murder.
All right. Yeah, so so you're just trained in recon.
Big sneaky boy.
You're really good at getting in, getting out, doing what you need to do. Hank, you've got a rather different philosophy on mechanized warfare. What talents are you bringing to the table?
I got combined arms that says as long as you're engaged, you and any allies adjacent to you count as having soft cover. Vanguard, gain +1 accuracy when using CQB weapons to attack targets within range 3. And Executioner. Once a round, when you hit with a heavy or super heavy melee weapon, you can make another melee attack with the same weapon As a free action against a different character within threat and line of sight, this attack deals half the damage if successful.
Yeah, the fact that you can use the backswing cut once per round, that's pretty solid, especially if you're trying to deal with like a lot of chaff really quickly, which
Sounds like how Aragon fought in the movies.
Please, Aragon was a goddamn dragon. That movie came out in like 2008. Fuck off, Aragorn. He wasn't the king of all. He wasn't part of the Dunedain for goddamn nothing.
Gandalf the
Yeah,
Druid.
but Aragon was still better than Lord of the Rings.
Oh my god.
he's going in. Delete him from your phone contacts. All right.
I would say he's releasing blackmail on me, but like, I don't have anything that I'm embarrassed about.
You got Sauron, the evil guy that made the rings.
I'm watching my brother just die on the inside.
He's steaming.
I mean, I love the Hobbits. The three
he's
Hobbit
like-
movies were way better than Lord of the Rings.
Your goddamn mouth. What the fuck is wrong with you? Jesus Christ, you put fucking ketchup on your cheesesteaks?
Well, yeah,
Well
with
done steak
mayonnaise.
with ketchup, bitch.
Fuck.
It's the only way to eat a cheesesteak.
No, bring some Kraft mac and cheese with fucking hot dogs in it.
What's wrong with that?
The steak is well done. Mecky Mech, a.k.a. Frankie Frank, you bring some pretty synergistic talents to the vision.
My first talent is I have nuts that go down to my feet.
It's true. I've seen them.
We've actually already
That's on a lot.
excuse me. We actually already talked about your first talent. That's the one that didn't show up on your list for some reason, but that's the walking armory talent. You have armament.
No, it is here. Okay, so that. Okay, it's a pilot talent then. It's not part of the mech.
Yeah.
Okay, it's on here.
Okay.
Well, you were going over it during the mech phase.
I assumed you would hand me the pilot sheet.
Well, we were talking about mechs, so. Anyways, my first talent is walking armory. You carry a supply of custom ammunition with the stuff that we already talked about. My second talent is bonded.
I'm your Huckleberry. This is the best one.
When you take this talent, choose another pilot, hopefully a PC, but NPCs are fine if your GM allows it, to be your bondmate. Any mech skill checks and saves either character makes while you're adjacent gain +1 accuracy. If both characters have this talent, this increases to +2 accuracy, but additional characters with this talent can't increase it any further. Between missions, you can replace your bondmate with a new one, but only if your relationship with them has changed. Then you also have Stormbringer. 1 time per round, when you successfully attack with a launcher and consume lock on, you may also knock your target prone.
Yeah, so you just gotta you're kind of a Swiss Army knife. I don't know if you if you wanted to like kind of choose a bondmate for tonight,
Well,
or if you wanted to like kind of have that happen naturally throughout the course of the narrative, that's also cool.
mechanically, it only makes sense if I'm bondmates with Kronk's mech because we're going to be in the slogs together,
All right.
and Sora's going to be hiding in the bushes.
So why are you and Hank bondmates?
Because we're like Frodo and Aragorn.
Harry, use the Force, said Gandalf.
Because they're taking the hobbits to Isengard, and we're the hobbits.
They're going to boil us, mash us, and stick us in a stew.
My lord. All right. We've lost Spanky.
He's coming back.
Spanky's back.
He's just got to drink more because we cause him emotional pain.
All right.
This is why you drink, because of us.
So that was sort of a rundown of what your mechs are, what they can do, as well as what you guys as pilots, how you're able to successfully maneuver them. Did you guys have any more questions for Dizzy before you kind of move on?
Dizzy, I appreciate you putting all this stuff on for us.
Oh, no problem. Like I said, I've still got a little bit more maintenance to do, but by and large, it should be up and running up to your specifications at least a couple of hours before you touch ground tonight.
Couple hours. Damn.
Well, thanks.
Keep
Let's
up
go
the
see
good-
the robot dog.
Keep up the good work.
Yeah, so your time in the hangar was actually a little bit more than you thought. it's looking like it's getting close to early evening. You do want to get back in time to get well rested for the mission tonight. So you're really only going to have time to do one more thing. So again, you've got your replicoid friend hanging out in the lobby if you wanted to go pick his brain. You also know the foreman is out with the crew that's going to be helping you mine the canyon tonight. They're out doing the initial groundbreaking right now. So
Can we
depends
split
on
the party?
I would say splitting is a good idea because Spanky wants to be around none of you right now.
You could split, yes. And unlike 5e, there's not really a whole lot of consequences for that.
All right. Well, I'm gonna take Hank. Hank and Frank are gonna go leave Spank.
Let's go see the robot dog and let him go see the foreskin out there.
Well, I was gonna say we're probably more likely to go work with the.
Okay, he can talk to the robot dog and we'll talk to the foreskin.
Yeah.
All right.
All right, so the
There you go.
Huckleberries are off, going to talk to the foreman as well as the mining crew, which leaves us with Spanky heading towards the lobby, presumably to get some coffee to nurse that hangover. And as you walk in, you see a peculiar-looking robot humanoid figure
With big nuts.
kind of sitting off to himself, attempting to play what looks to be a sitar. However, he's not very good at it. Even though you couldn't carry a tune in a bucket, you know that this is not right.
So
go ahead.
Spanky has a little bit of a crush on Replicoid, so he's going to try to take someone out, quite literally, as his part of this. I'm kidding.
Fuck it. Roll for it.
7.
All right. Yeah. So as you throw your best pickup lines on Wolfgang as he is, showering the lobby with his dulcet tones, he looks over at you and the spot where a human's mouth would be starts to light up with every syllable that comes out of his voice box. He's like, "Oh, I'm terribly sorry, subordinate, but you're not my type." And he continues to bang away at his sitar badly.
Oh, don't be like that, Replicoid. Now, what is that song? What's that tune you're playing?
One of the strings breaks as you call him, as he hears you call him Replicoid. His head slowly turns over and goes, "What did you refer to me as? Human?"
Well, I called you Replicoid.
Roll D20 real quick.
Are you a replicant or a replicant?
6.
What are your triggers that you have?
Spot, act unseen or unheard, investigate, take someone out.
He's going to act unheard, which is he's going to retcon speaking ever.
I'll add your thought, or not your thought.
My thought?
Clever the big red thought.
No thought for you.
I'll add your spot trigger to that.
Got 8.
Because you've spotted a particular bitterness coming from the sound human as he speaks that.
I do apologize, Wolfgang. I didn't mean no offense by it. I will use your proper designation after that.
Well,
Please forgive
good.
me.
See that you do. He continues to play on his now 3-string sitar and goes, "By the way, please note, subordinates, that any replicoid that refers to you as human is no friend of yours."
Well, also please note that you're missing a string, and you should probably get better at your instrument.
Oh, is that what you call this thing? And he kind of looks at it. He's you just now realize that he's been holding it upside down this entire time.
Oh, I want to play it, and I'm going to play better than him, as my trigger says, take someone out.
All right, let's see a performance roll there, my friend.
5 with the bonus. Fuck this goddamn dice.
Stop using the stupid. Stop using your dice cage.
I went through every goddamn fucking dice. Yeah.
went through every day.
Yo, my big nuts are holding me back from fighting. No, I'm not gonna go ahead.
Ew.
Yeah, so the sitar had 3 strings when you put it in your hand. It is now down to its last string, as you are shamefully giving it back to Wolfgang. He goes, "Hey, that was pretty good."
You're right, Replicoid. That was pretty good for a human. Wish you could play it better. Pissant.
So, your mind races back to Replicoid sensitivity training. Calling a Replicoid the word Replicoid, it's kind of like a racial slur.
Oh, no.
So every time you call him a Replicoid, you are basically, it's exactly what you're doing.
Basically, the sheriff is near.
So while Wolfgang typically glows with a pretty what do you call it?
Nonchalant?
I don't know. It's a pretty soft blue glow. When you called him Replicoid again, you could almost see that blue sort of turn into a dark purple as it's getting redder and redder.
Fuck it,
You pissed him off. You might want to try and backpedal a little bit.
I'm going to be like, you know what? I'm so sorry, Wolfgang. We got off on the wrong foot. I misspoke. I do apologize. What can I do to make some amends?
Oh, no harm done, subordinate. Just mind your tongue. Once again, any Replicoid you refer to with that particular name will not consider you one of their own.
I see. Well, I'm also not a Replicoid. However, I do want to also ask that my name is not subordinate either. It happens to be Spanky. So why don't you fix your mouth too?
Oh, well, maybe if you had given me your designation before, we wouldn't have gone down this road. He spits some oil into his hand and extends it to shake your own.
He's going to spit in his hand and shake his...
You now have an oily, spitty shake, which you can then give to Dizzy to lube up your Haywood.
Dizzy! Dizzy, get your keister over here.
Don't make me get the hose!
Get this here spittoon oil mixture, put it in my goddamn Haywood.
Put it in my goddamn milk.
Should have just called this Redneck Robots.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's still better than Lord of the Rings, so.
Yeah.
Well, there. Subordinate Spanky. What will I be doing with you during our time here? I assume you have many preparations to make for tonight's excavation.
Just one of the letters in there, H, but you can also drop the subordinate and just call me Spanky. That'd be great.
So your dealings with... again, your mind kind of traces back to the Replicoid sensitivity training, because this is basically a race of beings that were once sort of on top of the world. When he's referring to you as a subordinate, it's more of a term of endearment and not necessarily like of subjugation.
Okay.
All Replicoid... now, that's not to say it's not completely devoid of any sort of elitism. Replicoids, once again, they were at one point they were the dominant species. Everything was subservient to them. So there's sort of a superiority complex kind of programmed into all of them. It just comes across as very odd nowadays that Replicoids aren't really commonplace or in charge of anything. So you get the feeling that you're not going to be able to get him to stop calling you subordinate. It's basically like trying to get someone who's like super polite from not calling one of their superiors, their bosses, sir or ma'am.
Or anyone who works at Chick-fil-A saying my pleasure.
Yeah. So, but you don't get the feeling that you know that, especially that you are, because you're close with him now, or at least are associated with him, when he calls you subordinate, it's not 100% coming from a place of subjugation. It's about as much of a term of endearment as you're going to get from him.
Okay, so he's going to kind of look over a bit. So what do you think of this astral frame stuff?
Ah, yes, the glorious case of our astral frame. You know, we thought they were all extinct at one point, subordinate, but so the fact that we were able to find one in some sort of order at all is just fascinating. The blue glow kind of becomes lighter and lighter as he starts talking about the astral frame.
So, how does that make you feel? What are you hoping to gain from this astral frame looking thing?
Ah, yes, have I told you about the composers, subordinate?
Well, no, you haven't, but I'd love to hear.
And before you can even talk, he starts regaling you with his tale. So, allegedly, according to this guy, and you can tell this guy has a few screws loose, but he belongs to a group of elite replicoids known as the Composers. No one really knows what the Composers did in history, and the history books don't really have any sort of indication of the Composers even existing at the time. But apparently they were a big deal, and he belongs to that order of Composers. So as a composer, he has been sent as sort of the human replicoid ambassadors in order to safely transfer this artifact that rightfully belongs to the replicoids back to their reserve. Because it's been underground for so long, it's probably not in any sort of like salvageable order. But just the fact that it exists is just sort of a... It's like finding it's like an archaeologist finding like a completely intact like dinosaur skeleton. Like, this is a fucking huge ass discovery, and it rightfully belongs to them, which is why they've contracted the Vision to assist in making sure that this artifact gets safely transported back to the reserve.
So why are you working here then, Wolfgang?
Why I'm working here with you. We hired the Visionary to ensure that this artifact makes it back to our hands. As you know, we replicoids are not as, he sighs heavily, or as much as a robot can sigh, influential as we used to be. So we rely on you subordinates to help us make these matters a little more manageable. Whereas we are gifted with brains and encyclopedic knowledge, you are gifted with, he kind of like eyes your musculature, other skills.
Spanky's actually the least. Let me make this canon. Spanky is the least muscular of everybody.
If robots could be spindly, that's Wolfgang. He's
Fuck.
basically wires.
He's a
Okay.
Necron.
He's a Necron.
Activate reanimation protocols. You must construct additional pylons.
That's it.
Roger.
Roger. Damn, we.
So many movie references.
This was a. I think.
And they're all better than Lord of the Rings.
I think it was a.
I know how to get him to shut up. It's beautiful.
All right.
So what are Hank and Frank doing?
Yeah.
Jerking each other fucking off. That's what they're doing.
Double Dutch rudder.
So as your conversation continues, you get the idea that Wolfgang, a little pretentious, a little snarky. He may be a little bit elitist, but on the whole, you're not picking up any bad juju from him. Like, he's here to play ball with you guys. He's here to do his job. He's going to trust you guys to do your job. It's all hunky-dory. He's a bit of a pacifist as well. He's not one to, like, raise his hand out in violence, although he is one to, like, cheer it on from the sidelines when necessary as well. Was there anything pressing you wanted to get from Wolfgang before we moved on to Frankie, Frank, and Hank?
I wanted to see. Well, I guess since he's a robot, that's kind of tough to do. But if there's like any undercurrent of like maybe a little bit of sinister nature about this astral frame, since he was so quick to be very snarky. I guess I did say replicoid. I didn't mean to. I misspoke in character, but that led to a really good interaction. So
No, that was rad.
But yeah, I guess I just wanted to see if there was some kind of like sinister undertones. But if it's a robot, it's kind of hard to say. So
Yeah, I mean, you can roll to see if, like...
16.
Okay. As you said, replicoids, from what you understand and what you've learned from your sensitivity training, replicoids don't really experience emotions and motivations the same way that humans do. You know that it's not really in a you do know one thing about all replicoids, though, is that they can't lie. So basically, if you were to ask him any sort of like yes or no question or anything that he can't lie to you. He can't be dishonest with you. It's not something that is programmed within any of them.
Bet.
So, you probably got time for one more question if you can think of something that's going to set your mind at ease.
Nope.
Okay. We're going to go ahead and move on to Hank and Frankie Frank, and we're going to try and move this along here because narrative took a lot longer than I thought, which is not bad at all. So, you have reached the canyon, the battlements, well, soon to be battlements. They are breaking ground currently, breaking way into the canyon. You see a couple of driller mechs out front. They are hastily digging into the ground, trying to find a place with a strong enough foundation where there's not going to be a cave-in, but also soft enough sand where they're going to be able to quickly and efficiently drill all of you guys down. There's a bunch of workers kind of running to and from their mechs, to and from the hangar and back, but the foreman is the only one who is kind of on his feet, kind of barking orders to everyone. Floor is yours.
I'm gonna look over to Hank and be like, well, where do you want to start?
I'm going to look at Frank and be like, well, I don't know.
Well, I don't know.
I'm fresh out of ideas.
Hey, foreman,
Eh?
what's going on here?
Oh, you're the Lancers. What can I do you for? As you can see, I'm kind of busy, but always got time for our
And you can tell he's rolling his eyes a little bit as he says this.
visionary friends.
Yeah, is this guy funny?
He doesn't seem to have a funny bone in his body. You can tell he's a pretty straight shooter.
Now I see you got some pretty impressive machinery down here. You know, my
Impressive? They're shit. Look at them. They're basically built on rust right now.
well, I was trying to be kind, sir. My pa was, you see, my pa was engaged in the mining activities, and I understand a thing or two about it. But may I ask you, how much tonnage of materiel are you planning to move here? We're hoping to kind of gain a tactical advantage on the situation in the morning, if you know what I'm trying to say.
How do you not know what we're trying to move? We're here for the same thing as you guys.
No, I know what the thing is, but I need to know how much earth you're trying to move out of the way. Where are you putting it all?
Ah, all right. Well, take a look here.
And he pulls out a map, which is going to be made available to all of you guys. This is sort of the cavern that we've got going on here. Pardon the lack of color and the lack of clarity.
All right. So here's what's going on. We've already broken Earth down into the entrance here, so it's just a matter of clearing out the cavern here. We've got support beams built in place to prevent a cave-in, so we don't have to worry about anything like that. We're going to enter in from this southern point right here. You're going to have 6 of our best drilling apparati at your disposal. And by 6 of our best, I mean the only 6 that aren't fucking broken down yet. They're going to be able to drill into whatever we need here. We assume the payload is either going to be on the eastern side, the western side, or there's this one particularly thick wall that's up here towards the north. That's a potential point of location as well, but we're not quite sure. But that's where we'll be entering in. As for where we're moving the earth, fucking, I don't know, them phasmid assholes typically like this grizzly rock here. We'll probably export it over there. Probably get enough money to help clean off some of the rust.
If I wanted to cause a cave-in, what would I have to do?
He kind of looks at you and goes, "You're not serious."
Oh, I am serious.
There's one thing you got to know about my brother Hank.
We're not brothers.
We're not brothers.
There's another thing you might want to know is I'm serious.
So I'm gonna give you a minute to retcon that because there's no way in hell this foreman is going to let you in on the mission if your intention is to seriously cause a cave-in.
Well, not like the whole thing, but like, how much do you trust your men?
Sir. And you can tell there's like very little respect behind that word, sir.
These are tactically placed support load-bearing beams. If you take one of these down, anyone that's in there is going to get crushed under a pile of rocks. If your intention is to cause a cave-in, I cannot allow you on this operation, and I will be calling your superiors. Do we have an understanding?
Well, you might not believe it, but we have some intelligence.
So he's going to completely look away from you and look over to Frankie Frank and goes,
I assume he's talking about you when he says intelligence.
Well, you see my brother Hank, even though he says we ain't brothers,
We're gonna cause a cave in.
We're going to actually cause cave in. This whole place done caved in.
He has a way of asking about how to keep things safe by asking how to kill them. We got a saber cat when we was kids, and he asked my mom and said, "Now, if I was to kill this cat, would I strangle its neck or would I just not feed it?"
Ooh, all right. Go ahead and roll. And do you have a trigger that can help you with any sort of deception at all?
Read a situation.
I'll allow
Survive.
it. I'll allow it. Let's go.
20 plus 2.
Yeah.
That's what a crit.
So not only have you completely saved that situation, you've sort of given him a completely different understanding on visionary lancers. It's like
You've changed his life for generations.
I don't know about changed his life. I don't know if he made that much of an impact.
These blankets have changed my life.
He's in his mid 40s. Like he's already had his midlife crisis. But
His son's
He's
sons
like-
shall all be visionaries.
You know what? That explains a lot about you visionary guys.
he kind of looks back at you and goes,
Maybe I misread you.
Well, we'll get what we're looking for out of there, but if we have trouble, we can kind of lure those, we're
not luring nobody now. You don't need to be worrying about luring nobody. We're not trying to make it known that there's a mole. The miners don't know there's a mole.
Yeah, there's no moles around
even though they're
here.
all digging.
Yeah,
They're all kind of moles.
yeah, that's true. Big titty moles.
What?
It's a callback,
It's a callback
bro. It's a callback to the fucking
Scottie Pippen
To the
from Lord of
timestamp
the Rings.
2722. Shut the fuck up.
I love you. I actually like Lord of the Rings.
That's a callback to the Hydra episode, which is better than Lord of the Rings.
Oh, yeah, that was actually a pretty good episode.
Debatable.
Milk.
All right. So he's like,
All right. So, what are you here for? Like, I've got 500 idiots to micromanage here.
Well, we're
501, sir.
yeah.
I'm gonna give you a +1 on your next skill check for that. That was pretty rad.
That was amazing, Kronk.
No, you see, we're just getting a lay of the land. We're the muscle of the operation. If you know, right. Our other brother Spank, he likes to hang back in the bushes and watch women through the window.
He's the brains.
Lissy gets some bush. You hear that in the very distant background. That fucking triptych.
Now, you see, we're doing technical reconnaissance, and I'm just trying to get a lay of our. There's rumor that there are some parties that may be or may not be associated with members of some of this organization of some type or flow that want to usurp the possession of the payload. If you're catching my drift, I didn't go to school or nothing. I just stumbled into this, so you have to forgive my French, but you have to understand that see, we're the tacticians here, and we got to get a lay of the land, and I'm just picking your brain. You're the one who's building everything for us, and it's a poor captain that doesn't know his ship right, if you know what I'm trying to say.
All right, so you just said a whole bunch of words there. But what I'm getting at is you think somebody here is going to try and stab you in the back.
Son, I think someone's trying to stab me in the back every time I take a shower, so yes, sir, I believe that is true.
Usually someone actually
Goddamn.
is.
Goddamn visionary paranoid.
he starts mumbling stuff. It's like,
All right, listen. I can tell you right now, even if somebody had an intention to stab your back, these mechs are built for one job. Drilling holes, digging into places. Even if they wanted to try and come anywhere near your fancy pants Lancer mechs, they would get blasted to bits before they got within 5 cells of you. All right. Look, because I'm nice, because we're working together here, and because I respect, again, he rolls his eyes as he's saying that, visionary judgment, you can take a look at all of my boys' mechs, see if you find anything suspicious. But I'm telling you, none of my guys here are smart enough to pull off something like that.
I believe you, sir. I just I leave no rolling stone unturned and no beetle unsquished, if you know what I'm trying to say.
All right, well, get to searching, and I'm gonna get back to whatever I'm doing.
Oh, can I get a request for you tomorrow? I'm a bit of a DJ myself. What's your favorite song, sir?
I hate music. And he toddles off. All right, can you guys roll D20 and add, if you have a trigger that can help you with any sort of investigation or searching, you can add that. Not you, because you're with Wolfgang.
You cuck.
Ooh, it's a 4, but
Can I just assault the rocks into telling me their information?
Rocks aren't sentient, but can try.
get a hold of something or apply fists?
No,
to
I don't.
faces?
I don't have anything. I've got assault.
Then you shouldn't fucking roll. And if you ain't getting no rolls, then we ain't getting no rolls.
I'll make that up.
I made that up.
Better movie than Lord of the Rings. 12.
All right. So, yeah.
I killed your brother.
So, seems the foreman was shooting straight with you. There are 6 driller mechs that are in working order. They are working hard, breaking the ground, setting up the final load-bearing pillars. You let them know that the foreman has given you guys carte blanche to go through and investigate, and you don't see anything out of the ordinary. These are sort of third-party driller mechs. These aren't necessarily state-of-the-art or top-of-the-line. They're cheap, but they have been... the only notable thing you see on them is there are some modifications made to them that aren't necessarily up to code or standard per se, but that's not something that would necessarily be within your pay grade. These are modifications built for their ligaments to let them be able, their pistons run a little bit faster, they're able to cover distance a little bit quicker, but there's nothing like illicit or that there's nothing modified on these guys that could that kind of just screams this guy is going to give them an edge over you in combat.
Evil. No, I was asking him about where the dirt was going because I was trying to see if there was like a pile of
It's a cup of dirt.
I got a jar.
It's
of
a
dirt.
cup of dirt.
That's Brian Regan. Anyway, you got dirt. What are you looking for dirt for?
I was seeing like where they were putting all this refuse of the dig in case they were like trying to maybe someone was like hiding something under the pile of dirt.
Oh, okay. So I'll just say you got a 12, so you're probably very thorough in your investigation. This is Grizzly Rock, which is indigenous to the Grizzly Canyon, and it looks like they're just kind of boxing up any like pretty sizable chunks they find, and they're kind of carting it back off to the hangar.
They aren't carting. What are they doing? You said they're boxing them, so what are they doing?
They're shipping.
They're going to box and ship that Grizzly Rock. Sorry.
So
Spoonerisms.
But could they Mario Kart those boxes?
So, with your 12, I mean, you're as thorough as you could be. It doesn't look like there's anything illicit going on with the rocks themselves. So, with that being said, guys...
They got the rocks and they go in the box.
His inspection of the rock transportation protocol there will lead you back into the hangar where you guys meet up. You kind of talk about the information you've discovered, and that will take you into the evening session, which will take us into mech combat here. Do we want to take a quick break?
Yes, we do, because I got to piss like a racehorse.
Yeah, go for it.
There's a shot.
Ready to go?
I'm ready.
Let us do this.
Let's go. All
Yeah.
right. So we are back. Welcome back to Salty Lancer Boy Pod Lance Cast, where there is a shitload of Miller Lite on the table. I just realized.
Welcome to Lance Marsh.
Empty Miller Lights.
Lance Marsh. Sorry, has amassed quite a collection. It's not a tower this time like it was last time.
Bet.
The tower was nice.
But the DM got mad, so
He
we
did
had to
get
stop
mad.
building the tower.
I'm gonna encourage it, however. Do it.
Making the DM mad?
Do it. All right. So here we are. We're back to Lancer. We have just finished our narrative portion of Lancer, which took quite a bit longer than I expected, but that's okay because we're having fun. We are now to sort of what Lancer was kind of built around, was the mech combat portion. Now, I'm going to try and be as descriptive as I can for our viewers because tactical combat works best with a visual aspect. Bless you. We're actually all of the players and I are looking at a really high tech grid on the table right now, which is definitely not an 8x11 piece of paper with a pretty crudely drawn grid patched in with D6 representing all the characters. That's exactly what we're looking at. But our characters have just entered in through the south. We have Barlow piloting her mech, the Unkempt. We have Hank piloting the S-Word. We have Spanky piloting the Haywood, and we have Frankie Frank piloting the Mechie Mech. They have been the first to enter from the southern cavern. You stand before in a pretty haphazardly put together foundational setting. There are 8 load-bearing pillars in total. Each of the west end drillers pile in behind you. You've got 3 nestled in the southeast and 3 nestled in the southwest. Even though we are not technically in combat right now, we are going to go ahead and treat this first round as though it is combat. So, welcome to Lancer combat. Bear with me, as this is very much as new for me as it is for my players. So I'm going to be kind of referencing the core rulebook, which is available for free on www.massive-pressitch.io/corebook-pdf-free
/Pirate Bay.
It's actually for free, for real. The devs are cool like that. All right. So the first part, the first thing to know about tactical combat is that the players always go first, and by the players, I mean one player goes first, and you guys get to decide.
I'm gonna go first. Fuck off.
Well, he's recon, so I agree.
Is that a misprint? Or were they all printed like that?
Is what a misprint.
The stone.
The stone?
Yeah. The delicious IPA.
Oh, yes. They're supposed to be upside down.
Oh, that's what I was wondering.
Because when you drink it, all you do is chug. I'm gonna move.
Win.
I'm assuming a square is our speed, like so 5 squares is speed.
Yeah, so your speed stat indicates how far you can move, and it's represented by a square. There you go. Now, a couple things to note. Wolfgang is actually riding alongside with you right now, so he is chilling in your passenger seat, as it were. Remember, your job is to locate the astral frame. You are talking with Wolfgang yesterday. Wolfgang is fairly certain he will know. He'll know the astral frame when he sees it, and if there's any part of it that can be activated, he's fairly confident he can do that. So you can either continue to have him with you, or you can let him off when you've got an idea.
Do we have comms for communication?
Yeah, you can talk to each other just fine. You can talk. In fact, you can actually give orders to your mechs, as it were, as well. So what you've done is you've just taken your first. You have taken your movement action. Everybody is given a movement action. From here, you're able to do either a full action, or you can perform 2 quick actions. And in this instance, you have a special quick action, which is give your driller mechs an order. So if you want to use a quick action to give them an order, if you want them to start looking for something someplace, if you want them to start digging, you've got them nestled. You've got 2 nestled in the southeast and the southwest. And the foreman, as you remember, Hank and Frankie Frank were talking. He hypothesizes it will either be in the east, the west, or the northern cavern past that sort of the thicker rock.
All right.
You've taken your movement. You can either take a quick action to give an order. There's a bunch of other quick actions you can take, too, if you're curious.
Is Crackshot not considered a quick action?
Remind me again what Crackshot does?
So that's essentially just me steadying my aim. If I do, I become immobilized until the start of my next turn.
Let me take a look at... I have yours pulled up real quick.
Okay. Because I feel like that would be an action, but I don't know.
As a protocol, you may steady your aim. If you do so, you become immobilized at the end of your next turn, but gain +1 accuracy on all the attacks. What is a protocol?
I'm sure Rachel would know. That bitch.
Fuck Rachel.
Rachel.
Rachel Ray.
Protocol.
EVOO.
The most common type... Okay, that's a free action, actually.
Oh,
The
okay.
most common type of free action is a protocol, which is granted by gear or systems and can be activated or deactivated only at the start of a turn. So basically, you have to do that
fuck.
before you
Okay,
move.
never mind.
So if you want to move your guy back, to where you were. Just kind of retcon that. We're all learning here together. So if you want to use your protocol to do that, you can go for it.
All right, I'm going to immobilize. I'm going to immobilize myself right there, and then as my quick action, I will let the eastern and the western guys know to look on their 3s and 9s respectively.
Okay, so you want them just to examine the closest bit there.
I do. I'll be like, gentlemen, take a look over there on your in your little quadrants over there, and then we'll kind of check out the rest.
Cool. So turn order in Lancer, it goes 1 player, 1 enemy, 1 player, 1 enemy, 1 player, 1 enemy, and that exchange continues one after the other until one group runs out of people to move. From there, everybody from the opposite force moves, and then turn order starts back again. So, Spanky made his move. First one to make a move is going to be here on the eastern side. And he is going to start digging.
Shine. This is Ricky business over.
All right. So we're up next. Haywood is already gone. So Mech, S-Word, and Unkempt can also move if you want Barlow to go ahead and make a move.
Well, let's have Barlow just advance towards the northern.
Okay. Barlow thinks that's a good idea, so that's exactly what she's going to do. She has a speed of 4, and she is actually going to use the boost quick action. Everyone has access to the boost quick action. It basically uses a quick action slot, and you get to move again. So she is going to boost forward right up to that wall. Awesome. And she also has a drill equipped to her mech. It looks like she was able to talk to the mech hangar engineers from the company. So she starts actually going to town on that wall as well. Sawyer, could you move the driller closest to you? How many squares does it take to get him? Move him 4 squares as close to that wall as he can. Cool. And he is going to start drilling into that wall as well. That was really loud. All right, we've got Mech and S-Word. Who's going next?
I'll go.
All right, S-Word, where are you going?
Just right up behind Barlow. Number 2.
All right, I believe you have a speed of 4. Is that correct?
Number 2. The number 2. Yep. But I'm going to boost.
All right, so he's going to boost again. Just right there?
Yep.
All right, so you're just kind of supervising her work. You have another...
Don't drill like shit.
Don't drill like shit.
Missed the spot.
So, you actually have one more quick action you can take. There's a whole bunch of quick actions that are available to you. Some things that are relevant right now. You could attack Barlow. That would not be advised.
What's a core system?
So the core system is typically most of the time you're able to basically overcharge your core, basically, and that gives you a bunch of bonuses once per scene, and a scene is basically in a play session. Unfortunately, that was the one thing Dizzy was not authorized to do for you guys this time, so you don't actually have access to your core systems right now. But every other system that you've got, you have available to you. So your other quick actions you have, you can grapple, you can hide, you can do a quick tech. Quick tech is basically like robot magic. With quick tech, you can do things like bolster. You can give one of your allies within your sensor range a +2 accuracy. You can scan something. You can scan anything within your line of sight. You can lock on to something, which gives you a +1 on accuracy, and you can choose to invade another system.
I'm going to scan the wall.
Okay, cool. Your scan of the wall shows you that this is Grizzly Crust. Unlike Grizzly... I'm just trying... All of my names were designed to break my brother here.
Should be my call sign.
Grizzly Crust. Grizzly Flaky Buttery.
God fucking damn it.
It's like Grizzly Pizza.
So, Grizzly Crust is... I'm only saying it to make him laugh now. God. So yeah, this is much thicker than the grizzly stone that's sort of surrounding the entire cavern. This is you know that it's going to take a tremendously long amount of time to drill through this, or it's going to take a tremendous number, just a sheer number of drills to actually make it through this wall. Something else your scanners are picking up, however, you're picking up a material kind of embedded throughout throughout the entire wall. It's the same material that Wolfgang is comprised of. There's a lot of similar metallic ore. The ore is what I'm looking for. The ore is a similar compound to what Wolfgang his shell is made out of. And you can anything you scan, you can just automatically relay to whoever you want to. So if you want your teammates to know that, there you go.
Yeah.
Hey, those energy readings are similar to mine. Good find, subordinate.
Roger that.
We could probably blow this wall up.
Shut your mouth, Hank.
Wait. Subordinate, the one I'm riding with.
Yes.
Subordinate Spanky. That's
Thank
it.
you.
If you can get me up to that wall, I'm sure I can find a more efficient way through.
Hop into my gun. I'll shoot you over.
Or, how about we walk like civilized beings?
Look, I can't walk that way. I'll get one of the other diggers to help you out.
He kind of looks over them as, I was not tasked with working with those subordinates. He looks over at Mecky Mech and goes, maybe I could hitch a ride with Frankie Frank subordinate.
He's gonna have to help you out because I'm in it for the long haul. I'm running interference on these guys. This is a tactical situation here. We're not sure.
Mecky Mech's on the radar, and he turns the sound system on. And he just plays, try, let it ride. Bachman Turner Overdrive.
All right. So that's you've basically been given a suggestion. As long as you're adjacent to him, you can like swap passengers if that's something you want to do.
Adjacent.
All right. So is that
Hey,
so? That's
get into my car.
so. Bubs, can you move one of the eastern drillers towards the eastern wall? Awesome. And they are drilling through there. That leaves Gumbus Bill. Call sign Gumbus Bill.
I'm gonna go pick up Wolfgang.
All right. So your movement action, you've moved adjacent to him, and you now have Wolfgang in your cockpit. So what I would recommend you do here is if you want to get him over to the wall, you should probably boost at least. It looks like you're going to have to boost twice to make it to the northern wall. You're pretty far out.
Okay.
So it's going to be 8 move total. Awesome. All right, so it's not going to cost you any action economy to let Wolfgang out. So Wolfgang hops out of your cockpit and proceeds to go to work on the wall. What he's doing is not really clear, but you do notice your scanners are picking up the traces of the ore that are kind of embedded within the grizzly crust. They start to glow. There's more of a glow to them now. So whatever he's doing is eliciting some sort of reaction. All right. So because all of the players have...
And before we move on from that round, I'm going to give him a boost. We don't need no education.
Good cut. All right. So, Bubs, if you can move all of the other drillers 4 spaces closer to their closest wall. Because all of the players have already moved. Perfect. That's fine. And then if you can move that last one. All right. So after you've moved that last one, something exciting happens. Gumbus, can you roll a d20 for me, please?
Smebbin.
Okay. Yeah, so as you're looking around, you're kind of face palming yourself because as you walked by the last driller, you notice that these are not the same mechs that you saw working yesterday. So you're not quite sure where they were holding these ones out. You're not sure whether the foreman was lying to you. Maybe the foreman is being stabbed in the back himself. All you know is these are not the same mechs that you came in with, because the one just due east of Spanky, he's 6 away from you, right?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
He is. Awesome. So he is actually going to, one of his arms is actually going to produce a crude RPG, and he's going to take a shot at the Haywood.
It's going to make you play D&D.
All right, and Sawyer, what is your avoid?
My avoid is going to be, god damn it,
Is that evasion, you mean?
Or evasion?
evasion is 10.
Your evasion is 10. That's good enough. So the RPG, you can tell this mech was not designed with any sort of artillery in mind, right? It's a driller. It's built for one job. So you can tell that the RPG is not necessarily like calibrated to the machine itself. There's a lot more recoil than something this low capacity is probably designed for. So it flies just shy of you. There's a deathly silence, and then all of the drillers stop what they're doing and then turn towards you guys. So whatever has happened, the betrayal has already started. So here we are. We are now in hostile territory. This takes us back to the top of the round for players. So who is going first?
Me.
It's time to party.
I'm going first. Wow, this sucks.
Yeah, you're kind of right in the middle of it there.
I'm going to throw a smoke grenade.
Okay.
And then,
So the smoke grenade gives you... so if you want to fire your anti-mat rifle, that's going to take a full action. So you're not going to be able to shoot the rifle if you do the smoke grenade.
okay, I'm going to shoot the rifle then.
Okay. So that is... that has a range of 20, I believe.
I'm in range of
Yes, I was gonna
everything
say,
on the map.
As, the good news is, yeah, you can hit whatever you want. So you're going to take another revenge pot shot at this guy. All right. So that is going to be... you used a protocol, right? And that gives you some accuracy. Is that correct?
My protocol?
Yeah, you used...
Oh, yes, I did. I used my crack shot of my talent.
Your stable steady. So you gain plus accuracy on all attack you make with rifles. The anti-mat rifle is indeed a rifle. So you have a +1 to your accuracy. So basically, you're going to roll a d20 and add a +1 to that shot.
11.
11. That is going to be enough to hit this driller bot.
2d6.
So that is 2d6, and you don't have any other modifiers to that.
That is 8 damage.
8 damage. Okay. So you're... I'm at, here's how I see it. It's kind of like you kind of matrix past the grenade that comes by you. Something within, behind the cloak flashes. Maybe it's the glint of your eye. Maybe it's the crackle of the scope as you take that shot. But your aim is true. Your bullet goes straight through the chassis of this driller, and it just doesn't have any hope. It just...
On the comms, I'm going to say, gentlemen, we've been speckledorved. And then...
Yeah, so he is gone. So that is first blood for the Haywood. And that was your full action, and you are immobilized because of your steady.
I am.
All right, cool. One of them is going to take advantage of the fact that you're turned around. Can you move one of those ones adjacent to you? Actually, put him closer to you, please. You, the player. Awesome. And he is actually going to try and bum rush you with his drill there.
Okay.
Okay, and you said you have an avoid of 10?
Correct.
Yeah, that is going to go ahead and hit. So that is going to cause a little bit of damage there. Do you have any armor?
No.
Okay.
I don't think would it say armor on my, because on my character sheet armor says 0.
Yeah, so you're looking strictly at your mech right now. Don't worry about your pilot sheet.
He has the armor of the Word of
I
Christ.
have attack, save, speed, E defense, evasion sensors, LTD systems. It doesn't say anything about armor specifically.
What about structure and HP?
You should have, it should be structure, HP, then armor.
Oh.
Let me see
Structure okay, I see it now. Okay, structure HP, but I don't have any armor on there.
Okay, so that just means you're not going to be able to shrug off anything. He only does 2 damage to you.
Okay.
So this is where pencils might actually be helpful.
Great, I have 8.
Or if you want to just keep track on your phones, that's cool too.
I will use a D10.
Okay, cool.
Or you could just remember, like you said you would earlier.
All right. So we've got the unkempt, the S word, and the Mech. You're kind of in a rough position there, but it's just you're probably a quick couple boosts away if you wanted to get in and home in on Haywood. Who's going up next?
I'll
Oh.
go since I'm closest.
That'd be smart.
All right, S word.
All right. So how does it work with moving, boost, and attack and all that stuff?
So you get one free move, so that's
Okay.
4.
Yep, 4 straight on.
Now, you have quick actions. You can use one boost as a quick action. You cannot boost a second time, though, unless you have a talent or a system that allows you to boost as a free action.
So can I boost an attack or?
If you get close enough, yes.
Okay. Does everything have to be left and right?
It can be diagonal as well. Diagonal is considered adjacent.
Okay. Boost me right to the number 1 right next to you. Yep.
All right, so you are both in engagement range with him. So you have another quick action you can take. I imagine you want to take the Skirmish Action. That will allow you to attack with a single weapon. You're not able to use a heavy weapon with Skirmish, though.
What's a CQB weapon?
Close quarters something. Close quarters battery, I imagine.
So does that count as a shotgun?
Battery would imply melee, I think.
Yeah, you're not going to be able to do that. So if you wanted to take a shot at him, you could actually end your... I think you can shoot him point blank if you want.
Yeah, because it's got range 5, threat 3.
Yeah, so you can just take a pot shot at point blank if you'd like with a shotgun.
Okay, we'll do that.
All right, so go ahead and make an attack, and that's just a D20.
Oh, 5.
You got a 5. I don't think that is good enough. Let me double check my little cheat sheet.
I swear to God, if one of my characters dies on the first session again.
I will be very impressed. I sort of designed it so you can't really die. Please use this view only. Thank you. Oh, you said you got a 5? Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. Didn't quite do it. You take a shot, and it doesn't fall through. He's a little scared of that. You do have another one that's going to hop up on you. So Sawyer, take one of those western ones and move it right next to... Cool. All right. Something to note, you actually have once per round, you can fire Overwatch on something that's within your firing distance. You can't do that if you're in engagement range of something, though. So this one is going to take it... He's going to take
Fucking
a drill.
child.
He's going to try and stab you with
Grow
his
up.
drill. That is an 8. It does not hit your 10 avoid, I believe you have. So that will whiff. Gumbus Bill, are you moving
That's
or are
me.
you giving it to Barlow?
Oh, wait. No, I got an 8 evasion and 10 save. What's your evasion?
My evasion is
10.
10.
Oh, you have an 8 evasion.
Yeah.
Ooh, okay, so that actually hit. That's going to do 6 damage, too. He rolled hot that time.
Okay.
He's going to take advantage of the fact that you're guns blazing with that shotgun there. All right, Gumbo, are you up next, or is you going to give it to Barlow?
Yeah, I'm going to tell Barlow to keep an eye on the little dude,
Okay,
Wolfgang. Keep drilling and keep an eye on Wolfgang.
acknowledged. She's more than happy to do that.
So, can I move and then attack if I don't boost?
Yes, absolutely. So you're using your movement action.
Yeah, so I
you're-
think I get a move of 4. I'm trying to move within 5 of those 2 on the east side.
Well, you can
No,
move
that's-
diagonal. Other east.
Yeah. Yeah, they're right there. Perfect. That's within 5.
Oh, you were asking if you can move diagonal. Yeah, fuck it. Why not?
That's within 5 of the...
Technically, I think this is supposed to be played on like a hexagonal grid.
Hexagonal?
I don't know. It's not supposed to be squares.
Rachel would know.
I didn't know that until
Fucking Rachel.
not too long ago. So fuck it. Yeah, you can move diagonal.
Okay. Okay, so I'm within 5. I'm going to throw a frag grenade at those 2.
Ooh, nice.
Are you sure about that?
No.
Sweet. All right.
And what do I roll? A D6? Or
D20. D20 first to see if it hits.
It's a blast effect, not a heavy D6.
That's a 3. What do I get as...
Roll a second one since you're aiming at a different target too.
It's a 10.
Okay, so the 10 will hit, the 3 will not. What is the damage profile on the frag grenade?
All characters must pass an agility save.
Okay, hold up. Let me see. All characters within burst 1 area. Oh, you're sorry. You're just reading that. Must pass an agility save or take 2d6 explosive damage.
So do
On
I
a
even...
success, they take half damage. Okay, so one. So the one that didn't make it, the one closest to you, he's only going to take 1d6 damage. The one.
So I just rolled their agility saves then.
Oh, they have to pass an agility save.
Yes. And
Ow.
instead of me, it's not like I don't hit them. They pass an agility save.
Oh, got it. Okay, so let's redo that. You should have a stat that I'm supposed to hit for that. Let me double check your guy. Once again, those of you at home, lots of mistakes on my part. It's gonna happen.
I noticed none of them. I think you're perfect.
Get out of here.
I'd marry you if you weren't already married.
Okay, you have a save target of 10. So I have
save, yeah.
Cool. So they have to pass 10 or more. They take 1d6. So one of them. So the one closest to you passed. Both of them pass. So they're both going to take 1d6 damage.
Okay, that's me.
Yep.
5.
Okay. And what's the other one take?
Oh, I thought it... Okay. 2.
All right. So we're going to change. This one has taken 5 damage. This one has taken 2 damage. All right. So the ones on the east got rocked with the frag grenade there. One of them got hit a little bit harder than the other one. The one... You'll see real quick. All right. So the one who is hurting pretty... the one who got hit bad, he's hurting pretty bad. However, the other one... who didn't get quite as much. He took a couple bits of shrapnel to his gears there. He is going to take a pot shot at you with his rocket launcher. Does a 4 hit your armor?
You mean my evade?
Your evade, correct.
It does not.
It does not. It's a cavern ceiling there.
It's all the pillars.
Awesome.
And we all die.
All of the players have gone. Barlow is posting up, kind of just protecting... Wolfgang. So if anyone was going to try and pull anything funny with him, she's got him covered. All right. I'm going to go ahead and move the last remaining drillers here. Bubs, if you could move this first number 5, if you could get him as close to the exit as you can. He is running away. Awesome.
Super runaway.
And then Bubs, if you could position... Hold up. That one already attacked. If you could move the one closest to you, if you could get him within...
No.
Closest to you.
Closest to you. There
That
you go.
one. If you could move him so he is within 6 inches of your guy, that's number 5. Or 6 squares. Awesome. He is going to take another shot at you. He rolled a 3. I don't think that hits.
Definitely not.
All right. We're at the top of the player round. You guys can choose who goes first.
You also have soft cover.
I do have soft cover. But I actually
not
no,
anymore.
because I shot somebody.
For me, as long as I'm engaged, myself and any allies adjacent to me count as having soft cover.
Oh, that is right. So you
All
do
right.
have soft cover.
I do have soft cover. I will try to shoot the one that's escaping.
With the...
Oh, wait. Does anyone else want to go first because it might be more advantageous?
Let me do the swingy thing.
Okay, you can swingy.
Okay, so you're not going to move, but you're going to attack. Who are you attacking first?
The one closest to Spanky.
Okay, so he's going to take a swing at the southern driller with his... I forget what's the name of your... I don't think it has a name.
Cleft palate.
Beautiful. All right, go ahead and roll for, to attack there. This is armor piercing.
It's like my ding dong. It's armor piercing.
15
That will super hit. I believe that's a 1d6
plus 3.
Plus 3. That's not a bad rep.
What's a threat for?
What's a threat?
Yeah, for the weapons. Like,
I got a knife. I'm gonna stab you.
Now that's a knife.
I'm gonna make you watch Lord of the Rings.
That is a great question.
Yeah, because like my sword
Yeah.
says threat 1.
I believe that means just adjacent to you. Place will check. Threat 1. The maximum range at which melee and Overwatch attacks can be made with certain weapons, measured from the attacking character. All weapons have threat 1 unless specified otherwise. Okay, so you can only attack within your immediate threat range.
Okay.
So that's a 1d6 plus 3.
7.
7 damage. Okay, so the mech closest to Bubs has gone bye-bye.
And then I'm gonna use my free action to do Sexecutioner against the other one next to me.
Oh yeah, that is your fancy little
Talent,
yeah.
as they say in Franc.
So that's just another attack roll at half damage, correct?
Yes. 16.
All right, that is going to hit. Go ahead and roll for your
2.5 damage.
5 damage.
I always round it up to 5.
We'll round that up. That's going to be 3. So if you can go ahead and flip that one up to a 3. He's taken 3 damage. Awesome. That was your backswing cut in act. That was a really good use of that talent, dude. All right, I think that's going to do it for your turn.
Wait a minute. Didn't you get a +1 to something you wanted to do because you said +1 intelligence or 5 intelligence earlier?
Yeah, it's a +1 to it.
501.
But that's for a check, though.
Fuck me. Never mind.
All right. The one you just hit on the backswing is going to attempt to...
Suck your dick.
is going to attempt to swing back at you.
That's a command
And he
point.
rolled a 5.
What's your evasion, Cronky?
9.
Okay, so that's going to... I imagine...
Wait, it's 8, but is soft cover just like +1? Or how's that work?
Oh, I actually forget about soft cover.
You lose this cover. Oh wait, I don't know.
Soft cover. I have the core rulebook all the way up here. I'm going to say that just adds a +1 difficulty for them trying to hit back at you. Either way, he didn't hit you.
Okay.
Whether he got a 5 or a 4, it doesn't matter. So, good stuff. Again, really good use of your talent there. That was really awesome. All right, enemy just went, so that is now back to player. Who's going next?
I will go next. The person who is escaping, I will also try to shoot.
Now, there's another shot. Now, I will give you, because he's taken so much damage, something that might be a better option for you if you want to do it, because you have another rifle, I believe, and you also have a knife. You have 2.
Yeah.
So what you could do is if you wanted to move closer to the one that Kronk is fighting, you could take a shot at this guy with your main weapon and then take a stab at him with another.
Okay, so I'll move first, correct?
Yep. Or yeah. Cool. And that's, I think your other weapon has a range of 10.
Yes.
Cool. So that's more than enough.
Wait, no, it has a range of 5. My thermal rifle
Ah,
has
okay.
a range of 5.
Has a range of 5.
So I will just
Then maybe you can take a stab at one and then thermal rifle another.
all right, I'll do that.
Oh wait. Fuck.
No, because it needs to be.
Nah, it's gotta be 2 different ones.
All right, so what'll happen is I'll do this.
Right, con everything and then shoot at the one you're going to shoot.
I will shoot at this one like I was going to shoot.
Okay.
And I have a hypersonic fuel injector, which gives me +1 accuracy on all my attacks.
So that was what Kronk was asking about earlier. Unfortunately, your mechs were Dizzy was not able to get the fuel injectors ready to go. That was not something they were authorized
That's okay.
to do, simply because this was at first it was supposed to be just a routine escort retrieval mission, so they didn't authorize the use of the cores.
Okay, so I will shoot at the person escaping.
Are you using your antimat?
Yeah,
You're just gonna blow this guy to
I
fucking.
am. So that was a 14.
That
Plus
will
1
hit.
is a 15.
Go ahead and roll your damage, dude.
2d6 plus just 2d6. So that is 6 damage.
Yeah, he's super dead.
And then can I do a quick action since I didn't move? Or since I used a heavy weapon, does that...
Yeah, so a heavy weapon, anything on your heavy mount is going to consume a full action. So
Okay.
unfortunately, so 1 full action is equal to 2 quick actions.
Sweet, then I will end my turn.
All right.
Eminence.
The buddy, his buddy due west of your location, Sawyer, did not like that. He's going to shoot at you with his little rocket launcher, so he's not even going to move.
He can try.
Actually, in fact, he is going to steady his aim there, so that's going to give him +1 on accuracy at the cost of his movement. So he's going to get a +1 to hit you here. And that's a 15, so that will hit.
Okay.
But it only does 1 damage. The curvature of the shot lands just in front of you, so you get peppered with a little bit of shrapnel, but nothing else. That's going to leave our other 3 players here.
Or it's a really shitty RPG and it hits him, but it doesn't explode.
Correct.
That too. Or it's an airsoft gun that hits me and goes dunk.
So you said shitty RPG, like Lord of the Rings Online? That look. Oh, so good. All right.
I wonder what the name of this podcast is going to be.
Lord of the Rings.
This podcast is better than Lord of the Rings.
All right, who's going next, players?
I'll go.
All right, Gumbus Bill, you are the number 4 there. What are you doing?
Can I run up and stab him with my stabby sword?
Yes. I think that would be 5 squares, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Well, we can move diagonal, can't we?
That kind of breaks everything, doesn't it?
Well, I mean, if it's supposed to be hexes, then
All right. Yeah, we'll go ahead and allow.
How about
for
one more round of that, and then we can do the square.
You've already
movement.
allowed it. No takebacks, Indian giver.
That's very racist.
Native American giver.
It's not better. Fuck yeah! Move right next to him. All right, and you're gonna use your beam sword on him.
yeah.
All right, that's a heavy weapon, so you're not gonna be able to hit with anything else.
And that's 2d6.
You got to roll to see if you hit him first.
I did not.
What'd you get?
3.
That's not quite good enough. So swing and a miss. He is going to respond in kind. Okay.
Cheese and rice.
So that is a 20. In Lancer, a roll of 20 plus is a critical hit. That doesn't have to be a nat 20. If you get a 19 and have a +2 modifier, that also counts as a critical hit. Thankfully, critical hits are not double damage. You just roll your damage calculation twice, and you take the highest number, and that's what it is. So he did get a crit drill on you.
Jesus Christ of Nazareth.
He rolled a 5 and a 6, so that is going to be 6 damage off of you there.
That comes off of HP.
That comes off of HP.
Yes, that's your HP. It should be right next to structure under your name.
Yeah.
How much do you have? Do you have 24?
16.
Holy fuck, you got 10 left, B-boy.
Where's the armor supposed to go? Would it be here?
Your armor...
We don't have no armor.
You should. Hull agility system. Where is your armor?
Our
Sorry,
pilots have armor.
Sorry, you said you found it.
It was evasion.
That's not armor.
I don't have any...
Our
Is it on-
our pilots have armor, but
It's
that's
on your- oh, it's-
separate. Isn't it?
I have 0 armor, just kidding. It should be on your character sheet instead of...
Yeah, but I mean that's like for pilot combat, isn't it?
Yeah, that's weird. Where is it on there? on your Mechs?
Yeah, I was about to say.
I have it on mine.
On my character sheet, armor is 0 for me.
Sisters, evasion, e-defense. This is going to be the most boring episode of...
Fucking Rachel would have known.
Yeah, I have it on... This is a bullshit character sheet. This doesn't tell all the info. Okay. You shouldn't have any armor. My stat log for you says you don't have any armor.
Okay.
Maybe we'll just use the app from now on. I'll have to send you guys digital copies of these. Or next, if we want to play again next time, you can make your own.
I would love to. I enjoy this.
Okay. So anyway, that was the bad guy. Barlow is going to make her move, and curiously, she is going to move. And Barlow is going to make a tech attack on Gumbus.
I fucking knew it. I goddamn knew it. God damn it. I fucking knew it.
Did you fucking know it?
I knew it.
How did you know?
Because I had a fucking feeling. Because it's
I
like, why
had
the
a feeling.
It's like the foreman wouldn't do shit. Fucking spectacles over a robot over there
That
wouldn't
Barlow
do shit.
was the traitor all along. That she betrayed you all along. That she was the traitor. Go
You piece
fuck
of shit.
yourself. To invade, make a tech attack against a character within sensors of your sight. On a success, your target takes 2 heat, and you choose one of the invasion options available to you. Okay, so she's going to make a tech attack and completely whiff, as a matter of fact. But you are able to detect that Barlow has made a tech attack on you.
I'm going to shoot Barlow.
Oh, with your Overwatch. Fucking A, do it. That'll have to be with your...
My main mount.
Yeah, I think it has to be with your... I don't think you do it with a heavy.
Because I haven't moved all goddamn game. Oh, it's a range 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wait, 1, 2, 3, 4. Oh, it is in the range. Okay. It did not hit.
All right. So Overwatch does not go off. She goes, pity. I was hoping to end this quick. You hear some chatter go off from her side, and she is met with a couple of reinforcements.
Quit.
Dude. Going.
All right. So 2 more mechs appear from the northeast and northwest corners of the hall. These guys look bigger and meaner than the current driller mechs that you are currently fighting. They look like they're a bit more built for combat. They look kind of big and lumbering, though. And it doesn't look like most of their threat range happens to be kind of short to mid-range. You also get a message from Wolfgang. He goes, hey, can you hold them off for just a little bit longer?
Yep.
I think I'm onto something here. Give me just one more round.
Gents, you give me some space. I'll see if I can take out the side boys.
All right. So all the players have gone. The rest of the enemies are going to go.
Gross.
Fuck.
All right. Gumbus, this one is going to make... he's got a couple of saw blades emitting from his ligaments. He is going to try and take a swipe at you.
Got a couple custom
and
choppers.
The other one is not in range to do anything. Players. Barlow is now an enemy, so you cannot give her orders. If it wasn't made abundantly clear, she is the one who is in charge of betraying you.
I'm going to use my free action to go on the comms real quick, if that's okay.
That's not really an action at all. You can just kind of do it.
Oh, gents, who should I go for right now? Because we got Barlow, and we got these 2 mech guys.
Fuck that bitch and her pussy.
All right, I'm going after Barlow.
With your gun.
With my gun. All right, I'm shooting Barlow.
All right.
A 6.
6 is not quite enough.
Just like shooting womp rats back at home on your T-16.
I didn't nail him with my T-16, though.
Better move in Lord of the Rings.
Yeah.
Especially the first three.
Barlow is because she's coming. She's riding the same Vision issued a Lancer that you got, same kind of model. It's called an Everest. Just a little bit of background knowledge. Y'all know that Gigantic Massive Services, or GMS, they're sort of the Ford or the Chevrolet of mechs. They kind of mass produce mechs for everybody. GMS is sort of, I guess, the Yamaha of mechs. Like it's not like top of the line. It's not super specialized, but they work well. They're industry standard for a reason. Any sort of analogy you can apply for your line of work will work there. But you are all of the Lancers on the field are piloting Everest brand mechs from GMS, so they're all reliable. Because she's cut from her mech is specifically designed for combat. She's going to be a little bit harder to take out. You have a feeling though that Wolfgang seems very confident about whatever he's doing. Cool. So that was Bubs' turn. The mech closest to Kronk is going to try and swipe at him with his drill. He's actually going to ready himself for that, so his aim's going to go up by +1. That is a 16, which is going to hit.
Yep.
Even with your light cover, that would bring it back down to 15. That would still hit. That's going to do 4 damage.
Okay.
All right. Next player is up, whoever that is.
I'll do it.
Okay.
All right. What you got, Gumbus?
All right, so I'm surrounded by 2.
Yep.
All right. It's time to go with the big guns. And by the big guns, I mean I'm going to swing my sword again.
All right. Who you hitting?
The mech.
Which one?
The big one.
The big one. All right, the big driller. All right, he's a little bit tougher to hit, but not by much. He's still kind of lumbering.
17.
Go ahead and roll your 2d6, bro.
How's 10?
10 is pretty good. He is hurting. You've definitely hit some vital systems there, but he is not out yet.
Put it on 10.
Put the d6 on 10.
What is it going to?
Just leave it the way it is.
Okay.
I'll remember. All right. He did not like that. But instead of running away, he actually wants to stay and fight. So he is going to try and hit you back with a 4. It does not work.
Right.
Is it... Oh, I guess Kronk's the only one left. Kronk, what are you doing?
I'm going to run up to Barlow.
All right. The driller is going to try and take Overwatch on you with the rocket launcher as you are leaving his line of sight here. And he rolls a crit. Good God, these grunts are doing work. You only take 4 damage, though.
Okay, I got 2 left.
Oh, shit. But now you can move freely.
Right up against her. And then I'm going to swing. 16. What is armor piercing?
So if there's an armor stat, which Barlow actually has some, you ignore it.
Okay.
So she's actually got 2 armor, which ordinarily would mean if you rolled a 6, she would only take 4, but it's armor piercing, so you say, fuck that.
6.
She's hurting pretty bad. She is driving, just from your training together, you know that her mech specializes in engineering and tech attacks. So she's not necessarily built for durability, so one more good swing would probably do it.
Do I get any like free actions or anything? Or how does it
You
work?
used your heavy weapon, so no.
Okay.
That would take heavy weapons take a full action to swing.
And then what about protocols? Are they quick actions whenever you use them?
Yeah, your protocol would be a quick action. What do you have?
Projected shield.
Okay. I do think that causes heat to you whenever you use it.
Yeah, heat 1.
All right, so you're gonna take a heat for that. It's something you have to keep track of. I don't think heat's gonna come into play this game. I think it's gonna be over too quickly. But that is something to keep track of for next time. Who are you gonna? It's within your sensors range.
Anything within line of sight, can I do that for myself? Or does it have to be on someone else?
You're within your own line of sight, so I don't see why not.
Okay, +2 difficulty and to start next turn for people hitting me.
Cool. So if anyone attacking you is going to take a -2 to their hit roll. Speaking of that, this mech, number 2 mech closest to there, is going to try and come in behind Kronk. He has a movement of 3, which puts him right there. You can actually take an Overwatch swing or a shot at him if you'd like, Kronk. That would be with your shotgun.
Can I use? I can't use a heavy blade for Overwatch.
It has to. I think it has to be. Oh, you know what? You waited till he came right next to you. So yeah, you could use the heavy blade.
Good thing that fell off the table. 20.
Okay, so roll your roll 2d6. Take the highest result.
7. They're both 4s.
Okay. Yeah, because it's a d6 plus 3. All right, so yeah, you hit him pretty good. I think you also get your backswing cut once around, right?
Yeah, that would be to Harlow.
Yeah, go ahead and roll your backswing cut. See if you can slash her.
6.
Not quite enough, unfortunately. All right, but he is there, and he is mad that you did that to him. He is going to go ahead and roll to attack at -2 to hit because you have the projected force field up. The 6 would not hit you. Would an 8 have hit you?
Yes.
Okay, so... Dude, Kronk is like MVP right now. Holy shit. All right, that was a really good turn. I think that does it for all the players, right?
Yep.
Okay. I think all of the other enemies have gone too, right? No, the one on the southeast is not. He's going to take a shot at you with his rocket launcher again. And he is going to go ahead and hit that time. That's a 13. Or a 12 since you have light cover. Only 1 damage though. All right. So that is the end of the round. The wall begins to glow, and I didn't just ask Craig to bring here. As the wall emerges, your sensors start going off the charts. The battle seems to stop for a hot second as the walls open up, kind of like a gate to the battlements of a castle, and reveal not an astral frame that is dilapidated or in disrepair at all, but one that seems to be in pretty good working condition. We are almost done, I promise. Elated, Wolfgang steps towards the astral frame and seems to be propelled into it. The astral frame lights up, and in your sensors specifically, you hear a sort of a distorted voice.
Gilderoy here, ready to smash.
You also hear Wolfgang on the intercom going, whoa, 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 I'm a pacifist. I didn't sign up for any of this. Subordinates, this one appears to be compliant. Maybe you could give him some directions.
Gilderoy, please smash.
Wolfgang, can you pass your fist into this lady's face?
Oh, I'm not doing anything. I'm just sitting here. But Gilderoy seems more than happy. So it seems that Gilderoy seems... Gilderoy's like, acknowledged, awaiting orders.
Kill everything that's not us.
Acknowledged. So, basically you can use your full action to give Gilderoy an order, and he will carry it out to the letter. So if you want to have him actually take something out, you may want to let him know, like, specifically.
What about everything?
Gilderoy does not have that much armaments.
All right, I'm going to jump on the comm. Gilderoy, eliminate, which number is...
3. 3 is Barlow.
Eliminate Barlow. Dice number 3.
Acknowledged. So, not only... to your amazement, Gilderoy is employing what was thought to be only commutant technology, the commutant empire, but Gilderoy has not moved towards Barlow. He has, in fact, teleported towards Barlow. He disappeared for a moment and reappeared right next to her. So you have the closest look at this thing right now, and the armor is... It seems like less like armor and more pulsating, like a bloodstream almost. So Gilderoy is going to make an attack against Barlow with his giant blade.
He's swinging with this phallus.
He crit. So he's going to actually just eviscerate this person. That's sort of the similar roll. So yeah. So Barlow has just basically been disintegrated. What was so if you wanted to question her or anything, tough titties. This has thrown basically the fear of God into all of your opponents. Their weapons kind of power down, and your sensors indicate that they are diverting all of their power into their rear engines. It looks like these guys are trying to flee. Do you want to let them go?
No, I'm going to go up to this one right here, and then try to, like, I guess, catch it.
Okay, so you're going to move and then use a grapple quick action.
Yeah.
All right, so when you grapple, you try to grab hold of a target and overpower them, disarming, subduing, or damaging them so they don't do the same to you. Okay? Bubs, right now, can you move the number 1 closest to you? Just move him 4 closest to the southern exit. Cool. Choose an adjacent character and make a melee attack. So go ahead and roll a melee. What'd you get?
I don't think I have any. I got a 3.
Okay, yeah, it's not going to be quite enough. Okay. Sorry, can you also move 2 closest to the number 4? Just move him closest to me. Move him 3 towards the southern exit. Nope, not that one. That one. And boost him. Move him another 3. And boost him again. He's gone. Actually, go ahead and move the number 1 out as well. He would have boosted as well because they're just trying to get out. All right, that's going to leave... that's all of the players, actually.
AR.
That one is going to leave as well.
I gave the robot an order.
Oh.
All right, so that's going to leave 1 guy left. That is one of the big mechs. At this point, he sees that he's surrounded, and he sends a signal to the rest of you guys. It's the universal signal for surrender. He's powering down his weapons. He's powering down his mech. He does not want to fight anymore. Are you going to allow that, or do you want to put this guy out of his misery?
Gilderoy, shit on his face.
We should allow that.
Yeah. Gilderoy, non-lethal restrain.
Acknowledged. He just picks up the fucking mech with like 2 of his little fingers, and he's just kind of dangling them around in the air. This one resembles toy we used to play with back in day. Ha ha ha.
Kinky.
Yes, this one appears to have a sense of what he calls humor. You hear Mozart kind of roll his
Mozart.
Oh yeah, Wolfgang. Sorry.
You hear composer.
Cool. So yeah, that is it. You've subdued the bad guys. We have completed our very first game of Lancer here. Is there anything you wanted to ask the prisoner before we wrapped it up for the night? We probably have time for 1 question.
What is your name?
What's your favorite movie?
What was Barlow doing over here? Were you working for Barlow?
Barlow.
I hardly knew her.
Barlow's been dead for years now.
Of course.
Who did she? Did she call herself Barlow?
The mech that was in here was Barlow. How did you know her?
Oh, there's many more like her. Many more Barlows, as it were. You might want to ask your friends down at the Vision just who exactly she is. You hear a gunshot,
Oh, dang, we got some dang on clones.
and then all communication on the other line ceases. It appears this man has
Shit himself.
either jettisoned or offed himself prematurely.
Well, gents, looks like we got a hog strangler on our hands over here.
Gilderoy,
Yes,
engage joke sequence.
acknowledged. Knock, knock.
Who's there?
Interrupting, cow.
Interrupt.
Go fuck yourself! All right, folks, that's Lancer. Hope you
I
enjoyed.
like Lancer.
Bye.
Are you recording right now? Okay, cool. Simmons. Hey, roll me over. Simmons. Hey, guess what? I'm a pickle. I'm Pickle Krog. It's the Salty Boys. And I will always love you. It's not bourbon. And etching!